Hello. This thing on. I don't need this mic in my face anymore. Yeah, it looks like everything's picking up. Thank heavens. Hi, hello, welcome. For anyone who is keeping tabs on my time for this, it is definitely not 8 p.m. Pacific time. It is closer to 9. I apologize for that. Had to make dinner and sell some stuff in front of my house. Such are these trying times, but welcome. Thank you for joining me back on my stream. I have not streamed in quite some time. I think it has been since like last June or July, but here we are. Many thanks. First of all, I'll get this out of the way pretty early on, and also near the end, I'll give a nice shout out to a good friend of mine, Brian, who actually gifted me with a new microphone. That was kind of a big reason why I hadn't streamed in a while, was because I wanted to do some hardware upgrades. Just hadn't taken the time for it. But I have a new mic now, so I sound less terrible, but it's still my voice, so anyway, tonight I am planning on streaming one of my favorite games of all time. The reason I bought a PlayStation 1, wasn't Final Fantasy, wasn't Metal Gear, wasn't Silent Hill, wasn't Resident Evil, it was Megaman Legends. This and pretty much any other Mega Man game on PlayStation were games that just pulled me in as a kid pretty hard. And there's still a lot of fun. I think there's a lot of fun variety there. And Legends is, I think, the Mega Man spin-off that I would say has the most devout fan base, but that's probably because it's, I would say, the most forgotten Mega Man spin-off out there in terms of kind of just being left behind by Capcom. You can thankfully get this game on the PlayStation Network if you still have a PS3 or a Vita. It goes on sale all the time for like sub $5, as well as the sequel and a spin-off game called Misadventures of Tronbon. But anyway, for anyone who's here right now, thanks for joining me as I start, and for anyone else coming in, I'll do updates and hellos as I go through, but let's pop in and hear what might quite possibly be my favorite console startup sound noise of all time. Let's go. Yeah, that's the good stuff right there. Inject the PS1 startup right into my ear veins. That's all I need. Oh, here's another really good sound. Oh, hell yeah. That's the good stuff. Man, I miss intro logos like that. I don't know. Capcom's alright right now, but sorry while this loads.
In a world covered by endless water, people are forced to eke out a living on the small patches of land that remain above the sea. The people of this world rely on ancient technology driven by quantum refractors, a powerful energy source. These refractors lie in ancient ruins underground and in the sea, and are sought out by explorers called diggers. These brave explorers are the sole source of refractor energy, which has become a cornerstone of the emerging civilizations. Originally, this was the diggers' only purpose, to find refractors so that civilization might endure. However, over the years, the story of a fabulous treasure, the legendary Mother Lode, began to be whispered among the diggers. The Mother Lode, a treasure so great that if it were discovered, it would provide so much power that the world never need fear running out of energy. Seeking this Mother Lode, diggers travel from one island to another in their flying machines, ever hoping that they'll find what they seek just over the horizon. Hope, despair, charity, greed, duty, power. Who can say what truly motivates the diggers?
Oh, thank God. Okay. So I wanted to sit through that dialogue because that's just kind of the intro that rolls into this game. But yes, this is Mega Man Legends World. In Japan, it was known as Rockman Dash. And those are the little Servbot guys. Most people probably recognize them. But anyway. Any options I should set here? Turning, reverse, sound stereo. Okay, yeah, let's go.
Here we go!
Let's just jump right in.
Mega Man? Mega Man! Mega Man! Can you hear me?
Nah, I can't hear shit.
The transmission isn't too clear.
I got worried because the transmission got cut off suddenly.
I'm okay. I think this is the last door.
Yeah, look at him, he's so strong. That's the power of the PlayStation. Even though this was also later ported to N64, but don't worry about it.
Active. The reactor's still running.
Great! What about the refractor?
It's here. It's a big one too.
All right, now maybe we can finally get some money. Be careful.
Oh no, it's Indiana Jones moment. Gonna make it? Yeah, what a cool guy.
Okay, Roll, everything's all right here.
Don't count your chickens yet. I'm picking something up on my screen. Looks like a Reaver bot. You'd better get out of there. Come on.
Right. If you see anything, let me know. Here we go!
Yeah, alright, so this is Mega Man Legends. So this is Capcom's first attempt at making a 3D Mega Man game. A lot of people like this game, but this game is quite dated.
Wait a second.
I will also try and
There should be a Reaver
pause
bot around there somewhere.
during actual cutscenes
Can you see it?
because there aren't subtitles there,
It
but
looks like a small one.
the voices will come in
should
like this
probably
with the
take it faster.
subtext, so I don't have an issue talking over it. So, let's see. Oh, I need it to pop out of the wall first. So this uses a lock-on system for combat when you shoot around, much like Zelda. Even though this game actually counts for Zelda, but as you'll notice, you don't really have like a targeting reticle that turns on when you lock on. It just kind of auto-focuses,
Can you
which,
see nearby?
yes I can.
Do you see a door?
No.
That should be the way out. It's not far from your current position.
Yes. No. And the reason this game is, again, so tutorial heavy is because this was Mega Man's first time in
Watch out,
3D.
there's something in front of you.
So Capcom was really afraid that people would jump from a game, you know, Mega Man being a 2D action platform, you know, go left and right, fight bosses, choose whichever order you want. Whether it was Mega Man or Mega Man X at the time, that was all you really had. So, you know, you don't really need to reinvent that wheel and teach people how to play every time, but when Mega Man first jumped to 3D, a lot of interviews from that time from developers on this game had said that, well, they almost didn't want to put Mega Man in 3D, at least from what I remember reading, which made sense, but they still tried
Hold
to...
it, don't move.
Oh gosh.
Looked like it didn't see you. It looked like a Reaver bot. We were lucky.
Sorry about that. Yeah, they still tried to craft this game with, you know, like a whole separate story from everything else and like a whole different world, and it really caught on with, not just myself, but many other people who played this when they were younger. And this sub-series of Mega Man has had it probably the worst of any, I would say, for a lot of reasons. I'm exploring because you can find some parts back here. I just forget where they are. This place is not too big though. But yeah, it's because, as I mentioned earlier, there are only 3 games in this whole sub-series. There's this game, there's Legends 2, the direct sequel, and then The Misadventures of Tronbon, which is a side game with a character we'll meet pretty soon, I want to say. This game is not very long. Yeah, this was one of Capcom's many attempts to make the jump to 3D if a series was in 2D. Pretty much everyone was doing this in the 90s. You know, obviously
Where
big
are you going,
series.
And that's not the right way.
Shh, quiet roll. We're
I
gonna
don't
find
like the way
parts.
that looks. Maybe you'd better head back.
No. We want to go this way. I think there's a treasure chest down here. There's gotta be one. What is that?
Be careful, Mega Man. It looks like they've got you surrounded.
Oh no, I fell into a trap. It's been a hot minute since I played this game. I still remember how to finish it, but...
Mega Man, are you alright?
Yeah, but roll just does not let up in this game. But yeah, much like how there are kind of early tutorials in Ocarina of Time, Zelda, now that I'm thinking about it, roll kind of acts like your little tutorial Navi in here, but it makes sense. It was less of Capcom trying to be annoying and hold hands, and it was more just because like the jump from like mostly only 2D games to 3D games was a really big deal back then. That's something that's taken for granted extremely these days, because you know games exist in so many different forms, and thinking about the fact that 3D games just didn't exist at a certain time is a weird thing to think about now. I mean, because we're at least like I'd say 25 years out from that period, I think. Because let's see, this game came out in '97, so yeah, this game's almost 25 years old. I don't like that.
Mega Man, I'm picking up a Reaver bot. He's above you. Watch out.
Oh no. No instruction. So while these tutorials may seem a little heavy-handed and I'm rushing to them, that's just because I already know how to play this game. But that's kind of the thing, is that when you learn different game mechanics over time, you kind of just start to retain them. Also, these little diamond-shaped things I'm picking up, those are my money, or Zenny, as they're usually named just about every Capcom game ever. And despite the fact that I really like this game a lot, so do many people, Legends 2 definitely improves in many different ways upon this game. But you can tell that a lot of the design choices in here were because like people just didn't know how to design 3D games back then. So this was explaining to me, by the way, that the way you customize Mega Man in here is very different than you would in like say like Mega Man X or even like classic Mega Man, where you take weapons from Robot Masters. Instead, it plays a little more like an RPG in the sense that you have like upgradable parts. So that's just normal stock items. These are key items, like there's the blue refractor. I'll talk more about this world and the lore behind it and all this stuff and like why people like this like setting of this Mega Man so much. But let's just like treat those as like not Chaos Emeralds kind of, but there aren't a set amount of them, by the way. It's just like an easy way of describing it. Like energy MacGuffins, let's just say that. So buster parts. So you have your basic like your shoot gun. And you can equip all sorts of combinations, and then you also have special weapons, which we'll get into those later. Right now I don't have anything, but you have different weapons that you make with parts that you find in the main hub world of the game is what we're about to go to soon, but this is just like the beginning dungeon. That was what that like flyover cutscene in the beginning was. Where
Mega Man, I'm showing a large blip in front of you. It's probably a Reaver bot. Be careful.
Oh no, Roll's cutting out of the radio.
Mega Man, can you hear me? I'm losing you.
Yeah, this is basically like
Transmission's breaking.
Sky Pirate Water World,
Roll?
but
Are you alright?
for a
Can
Mega
you hear
Man
me?
kind of setting. And these are they're basically all treasure hunters. They're just trying to find new energy sources and trying to find better ways to survive on the world that they come from. We got a big boss boy. If it looks like my turning is kind of jank, that's kind of because it is. It works really well when you get the hang of it, but you have no second analog camera controller because I'll show you guys in a second. But you'll have to remember that the original PlayStation controllers didn't have analog sticks on them. They originally came out with the DualShock design that is super common now. Pretty much most controllers have 2 sticks in general, but these 2 little nubs here didn't used to exist. So you had to use shoulder buttons for camera control. So this game reserves the shoulder buttons for that. You use the second set of shoulder buttons for locking on and other tasks like that. But you use R1 and L1 to pretty much not strafe, but keep the camera rotating. And once you get the feel of kind of like rotating back and forth as you combine that with moving. And yeah, we got this guy, by the way. So there you go. Pretty easy tutorial area once you get the hang of it. So this is what the outside world more or less looks like. You travel to ancient ruins all the time, but there's a main area that we're about to go to. So I'll let it ride for a second.
Look at that sky. Well, that's a happy sight after being underground for so long. I wonder where Roar went. No way.
Oh, he's still awake.
Back for more?
Oh no. How will Mega Man get out of this one?
See ya.
Hold on!
Yeah, what a cool guy.
Roger.
Goodbye, friend. And he just stays there on top of that tower, waiting for his return. Cutscene's gonna roll for a bit, so I'll let it ride until I get back into talk mode.
Phew. Nice timing, Roll.
Anytime, Mega Man.
Yeah, that's the adaptation of roll in this game, by the
I'm
way.
sorry, Mega Man. I had some engine problems, and
It's okay, Roll. But I'm glad you showed up when you did.
all's well that ends well, right? And we were able to get a refractor. We should be able to get by with that for a while. If only the mother lode were as easy to find as this.
Don't worry. We'll find it someday. And your parents, too.
Thanks. I know we will.
Roll, the engine's overheating. The smoke's so thick I can barely see.
What? I guess the flutter's in worse shape than I thought.
Roll, the number 5 feeder's going crazy. She can't take much more of this.
Gramps, can you open up the number 11 valve again?
Got it.
We'd better find some place to sit down. Mega Man, check the map.
There's an island called Cadillocks about 100 miles southwest.
Good. Check.
Here we go.
I can't do much more by myself down here. Can somebody give me a hand?
Sorry, Gramps, but my hands are a little full right now.
Roll! I see it! Land ho!
Come on.
They don't help out or anything, Mega
Just a
Man.
little
Just
bit more. Hold on. I'm taking her down.
Right.
Another happy landing, as they say. Oh yeah, by the way, the old dude is casket, barrel casket. It's Roll's grandpa.
This looks pretty bad. I don't think it'll be safe to set foot in here for quite a while.
We've been pushing her so hard. Haven't been taking good enough care of her. We'll just have to fix her up.
Looks like the repairs aren't going to be finished anytime soon. We'll be here for a while, I guess.
Almost like a whole game's
Silent.
worth.
What do you call it, Megaman? Cattle locks? Must have a town or a city somewhere. Think you could go take a look around?
Yeah, so here we are. This is Catalox, the main, pretty much the main place that will be for this entire game. And this is the Flutter. This is their big ship that they fly around. I don't think I can go inside. No, I can't go inside right now. You can come back in later. But yeah, their ship crash lands because it's old and decrepit, and they don't upkeep it as well as they should. But such as life as treasure hunting sky pirates of sorts. Not exactly pirates, but that treasure hunters. And this is your boy Data. Fun little monkey. He lets you save. He has the answers to everything. I'll find that out in time. And he's been Mega Man's friend for years in this game. He also gives you free health. Tell me is just like hints about what to do next. And then just about, like, what should I do is, I wonder what this island's like. That's all he says. Let me go back so I can just save the file. Takes a second to load up the save. Third slot here. But yeah, wait, not enough room to save. Oh, I guess we'll just do the second one? Hold on a second, sorry, boat shop. There we go. Anyway. Thank you for being patient through that save process, but yeah, we have now landed. That is Roll as she is designed in the Megaman Legends world, and then even though it's not Dr. Light, he's pretty much just like the Dr. Light in this world. Let's go, we're gonna go into town. If you didn't know, the town is very much just that way. You get a command when you read the sign? I knew there would be a city here. Hello, oh, hello, friends. To anyone who has joined me, thank you for joining. What's going on? Oh no, the cops are here. Everyone go home. This stream is over. What do you got here? Hello? Oops. Looks like everyone's alright. And he's just the nicest cops in the world. They're like, man, you crash landed on our island? Nah, you're good. Do you do anything here, or can you still go into town?
Ah, Megaman!
Oh, there you
The
go.
police saw us crash land and came to check up on us.
How nice.
Well, you certainly put on quite a show. But it looks like everyone's all right.
Forgot this guy had this accent.
Let me welcome you to Catalox Island. Now, I'd like to ask one of you to come with me to the station.
We need you to fill out some immigration forms so you can get your registration and ID card.
Wow, if only real life
You
was this
can't
easy.
enter the city without one.
Don't worry. It won't take very long. While you're waiting, you can spend your time in the shopping arcade next to the city. You don't need an ID card to get in there.
Thank heavens.
Are you ready to go, Professor?
Well, I guess how Mega Man's immigrating to this island. Alright, let's roll. Another thing, too. This is an old PS1 game, right? I said this came out in 1997. This game still looks pretty good. I think a big reason for that, I'm going this other way on purpose, just to remind myself of what is this way. think a big reason this game still looks good is because of art style. Like, this really low poly but simple and vibrant color style holds up really well. You know, like, it still looks old, and you can tell it's got some age on its bones, but it still looks good. Like, you're not asking yourself, you know, what kind of shape are Mega Man's hands supposed to be? They're supposed to be giant blocks. It's big, blocky, polygony Mega Man, as this lady got to say. Are you a digger? You probably know that if you want to dig here, you need a license from the government. And this government controls everything. When I get one, you should go to the city hall and ask about it. So, Catalogs is the main, just general place we'll spend this entire game. There are interconnected tunnels underground, which are pretty much, like, there's one giant dungeon, but then there's smaller dungeons for specific areas. I don't want to just keep using Zelda as a reference for everything in 3D, but that idea of, like, overworld dungeons to explore, with different action sequences in between, it's definitely very Zelda-like, and this game takes a lot of cues from that. You know, again, this game came out before Ocarina of Time did. They say it's really dangerous inside, and no one ever enters. Me, I just come here to pick mushrooms. Thanks, lady. Anyway, I'll stop goofing around. I just wanted an excuse to talk about the fact that I think this game's art style still holds up really well. Also, big welcome to anyone who has stopped by in the chat or in general. I realize that times are rather trying right now, and people are quite on edge and worried about the current state of the world, and I do not want to diminish those fears or those worries. I just kind of want to kick back and hope other people feel comfortable enough to kick back and play some games with me too tonight. So I figured I'd share Megaman Legends with everyone, because this one gets pretty cool. And Mega Man can walk faster. Well, not so much walk, but he gets dash boots, which might be why this game is called Rockman Dash in Japan, but I'm not 100% sure. This guy's afraid of a lot of stuff. Yeah, the ruins are where you find money and parts to get more weapons for Mega Man, and this is the main city. You can clearly tell that there's like older architecture here and more things to learn, but if you look on the side of the city here, this cop has pulled over this little airship. Hey, look at all the no parking signs. No? Okay, there's no parking signs. That guy's just being a cop now. But look at this. I don't know what this little guy's doing back here. These are serve bots, by the way. They were sort of like Capcom's like attempt at making a mini mascot for a while. Don't get a parking ticket. Alright, let's go in the city. What's this guy gotta say? Let's go on in. Don't worry, there's gonna be music in just a second. Oh, thank God. Okay. I was gonna say, as nice and peaceful as it is out there, I was getting kind of tired of just the silence. Yeah, got some money. So this is the shopping area where a bunch of different stores are. You can buy some things, but if you are ever out of money, hold on a second. You can keep kicking this can. Though normally people would chide you for littering in public in real life, if you can get it to go in behind the bakery counter, you get 1,000 zenny. And that is a very easy way to grind money early on in this game. I'm not going to make you all sit through that, but it is a very simple way to get a few extra bucks here at the, what is it called, Jet Lag Bakery. I don't think you can actually buy anything from the lady here. Let me see. Have you heard about the ruin? Yeah, no, I don't think you can get anything from her, but that's an easier trick to get money that can reappears every time you re-enter this area, and she will always give you money. It's not the most efficient way to grind money, but early on, like what, how much money do I have now? Yeah, that was like a 3,000 zenny, so that's pretty good. dog? Where's your dog? Oh, over there. Can I talk to the doggo? Cute. No, I don't. Yeah, so right now I wouldn't be able to go. There's a sign that says, please insert citizen's card. Yeah, so I can't do that yet. Let me grab this trash can here. I know there's a bunch of parts in other trash cans when you go into the main part of the city, but you can search almost every box and trash can here and sometimes find stuff. There's also, I guess what you could describe as a karma system in this game, in which I think it's just based on how much you help people and how you end up being perceived by people in conversations. I don't remember if you get any extra parts from it, like for Mega Man, because you can pretty much, it's not like an alignment per se, but you either have him be like really like lawful good Mega Man or just like chaotic evil Mega Man. I'm gonna go in all these stores and remind myself if there's anything else I need to actually do first. Oh damn. Hey, maybe Mega Man just wants to look at women's clothes. Don't judge what he's doing. He doesn't even have a citizen's card here. Do I think it would look good on you? I don't know if I'm the one to be answering that question, but I'm gonna say yes. How much is the, no. Yeah, get played. Okay, so there's there, because I know the shop over here, this junk shop, I think I ended up doing a quest here, now that I'm remembering it right. Shark Skin Bakery, that's a nice name. But I'm gonna double check, it's probably not a good idea to go in without permission. Also, Mega Man won't go into other people's houses, but Link will. I'm checking all the other stores though, because I can't remember if there's anything else I need to do. So I'm just doing a double check. It's always good to talk to everyone. This is like one of those talk to everyone for side quests kinds of games to make sure you don't miss anyone. Look at me. Am I cool or what? I mean, is he? I don't know. Y'all tell me. Everyone bomb the chat if this guy is cool. Is he cool? No? Okay. Everyone hates this guy. The reason I do mention the alignment thing in trash cans, though, I'm going off on tangents, is because you can actually break these trash cans. They'll reset, but if you keep breaking the trash cans, that will mess with Mega Man's alignment, I'm pretty sure. But kicking the can never messes with his alignment, as far as I'm aware. Oops. Dang it. Let me try. I'll get it in there one more time. I believe we can do it. This whole stream is just gonna be trying to kick the can and grind money. I lied. Oh, there we go. Perfect. If this doesn't make it, we're out of here. Hell yeah. Grind money. Nice shot. Bonus. And it's like, see, it's put trash is so trash's proper place. If anyone needs a takeaway from tonight, is behind a bakery counter. Please keep that in mind as we deal with this oncoming global pandemic. This is an electronic shop. Parts for a flying ship. Oh yeah, so you asked this guy about that, and he tells you you should go to the junk store because they have a lot more upgrades. I don't think there was a TV, Mega Man. Oh, that one's a TV. These people have anything to say, or is this a trash can over here? No, it's not. What are they called? Are you a digger? Yes, I am. Seems everyone wants to be a digger these days. Mega Man looks young. I mean, I guess he does. Very distinct art style for his face. Well, thanks, guy. Dun, 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 dun. Man, this music is catchy as heck. I think there's something I can get in this record store too. Don't know if I can get it now though. What's this chick gonna say? I think I know what happens. You, like, there's a Baroque CD. I forget if any of these musical tracks in here are references to any other Capcom things. And I'm just gonna talk to this chick and then we're gonna head out of here. No, I know. Let's talk to the girl. Sorry. I just want to make sure I have all the right conversations. You know what? Maybe I can't talk to her, and I think that's okay. Does this guy have anything to say? Alright, guy, we're out of here. Oh, I thought it was doing a check before I left the door. It's been a minute since I've played this. Let's see. Alright, so let's go to the junk shop. Because the people in there, I know they help us. I think they're going to send me down into the ruins right now. Oh yeah, the lady's going to make me go talk to her husband. We already talked to before we came to town. Yes, that's correct. Looking for old machine parts. I wonder what's taking him so long. Yes, that was the guy at the front. Exposed by his wife. Classic. Ugh. And these people will eventually open up like this junk shop to be more of an upgrade shop. So like you buy different parts for them for Mega Man. Excuse me. And then these little kids right here, I think they're like town bullies. Yeah, of course I'm not from around here. What's the problem? Yeah, this kid doesn't like strangers. I don't like him either. Oh yeah, and by the way, that big treasure, the mother lode they're always talking about, it's basically like the One Piece of this world. So just leave it like that. Anyway, back into the wild. Oh, my little friend. He's caught up with us. You know what? We're gonna be big biscuit riskers and we're not gonna save data. What do you think about that? So yeah, now we're going down to the ruins. You kind of have to get used to what doors and exits look like in here. So like this is a ladder exit, right? But it's just a wall texture. And that could be very misleading and confusing to someone who is not used to this kind of an older game. To go save this dude's life. Which I forget where in the ruins he are. Where in the ruins he are. Where in the ruins he is. But I have always really liked the design of the main enemies in here, the Reaver bots. I think they look really cool. They definitely fit the whole aesthetic of this series and like how they do ruins in this sort of like I don't know, like decrepit but still future world that has like cool ancient tech. I always like that kind of design. These are holes in the wall, by the way, and they appear in a lot of different ruins. You have to get used to looking for those as well. Like, if you're not used to it, you will pass over a lot of different things. I don't think there are any items in this game that are missable, though. I wouldn't hold that to me because it has been a minute since I've played this. But I want to say that there... I'm trying to think really hard if there are any like points of no return in the game where you you can't go back and get the items there. I'm pretty sure there aren't. Like I guess the beginning of the game. I got that power part, but I think you can get that part somewhere else. Yeah, sorry, I'm dodging that guy back there. I'm going as far as I can. See if there's any other items I can get. That guy's just chilling back there. I already saved him, don't worry. I want to say there's another hole down here. But look at all these weird designs of these robots. Like, they're so different. And yet they're still so, like, they all have the giant glowy red eyes. But it's not an offensively, like, giant glowy red eye, you know? Oh, God. This guy's just chilling here on the floor. There we go. That one took a lot of hits. I'll get the big one. Oh, man, I missed it. Yeah, I'm coming to you, my friend. Don't worry. There we go. Once I can get that knockback, no, these guys. I can get the money. Yeah, I knew there was a big chest down here. And rapid fire. They don't explain all the buster parts. See, this explanation is here because it's possible that you might not have gotten the really simple upgrade one from the initial, like, starting dungeon. So they give you that one, I think, triggers an explanation too. But, if, like, I think now, after you have that one, then they stop telling you that. And I have one more slot. So then, the 4 stats, by the way, attack is obviously strength. Energy is, it makes the, like, hold on, to show you, the color of the blasts, like right now they're just, like, kind of, almost like whitish purple, I think, and they almost look very mildly colorblind, so I'm taking in for that. But, it changes, like, the size and, like, how big they are, so they do, like, more of, like, a splash damage effect, like, the bigger and more energy you have equipped to Mega Man. And then there's also range, which makes you shoot farther, and then rapids, what I have. See, now I shoot a little faster. So eventually, I don't think there's a way to max everything out, but you start to mix and match stats as you go through, and that's kind of cool. Like, there's always some kind of a different way to customize Mega Man 2 to like as you get more parts throughout the game. Okay, dude, I'll talk to you now. What's up? He's just dancing up here. Look at this dude. Get the snake thing. Did I miss one? Oh, I did miss one. Hello, friend. I got them all. Yeah, I saved your life. You owe me, pal. Yeah, I like how he was stuck now, and those little tiny snake things I barely moved were stopping him, but now he can run. Thanks, Gab. Yeah, no, that's the shop owner, so I just saved him. Let me explore really quick, because the ladder is back here. I don't... Yeah, I guess I got that part of the money from the wall. Wish it was easy to find money in walls. Yeah, I can't jump high enough yet, but much... actually, more so like a Metroid or something with upgrades. You do get a high jump and other power-ups for Mega Man later in this game as you go through. So whenever there's like an actual pan over shift like that, it just, that's like you moving to a different section of the dungeon. See this wall has cracks in it? I can't get there just yet. I'll need a bigger item. Or, excuse me, a special weapon that I get later to break over that wall. Because this is, like I said, part of an interconnected series of dungeons that it more or less runs around the whole island. And then once you have the proper items, you can just do like a whole run and get everywhere you want. But as you explore more of the dungeon, there's like all sorts of different parts and upgrades and stuff you can get to have fun and upgrade Mega Man to your liking. There are some weapons that are definitely better than others over time that you'll discover. But for now, trying to explore as much as you can is usually pretty useful. Yeah, let me warp back, so let's get out of here. We'll go to the jump shop. What's nice is that even though this game actually clocks in pretty short, like my original file that I had for this game that I can just like complete at leisure, it's like at the end of it. I don't, like I can go show you right now. Let me go talk to data. Spotter's car. so it becomes your little transfer around the island as well. So I'm gonna save, but just so you can see my other save file that I have on here. Yeah, so this downtown save file, I'm not gonna erase this one, but that's from way back when I first got this game in like 2000/2001 when I finally got an original PlayStation way back when. I got that later because I had an N64 first, but yeah, it clocks in at about 13 or 14 hours. That was like what it took me to finish this game way back then, and I just kept playing through on other files I wanted to play, and this game is not long. And I think that's really nice because the game still manages to have this sense of like you're on this Sizely Island and this world is big. And things are great. Oh, what's this? Oh boy, Le Toucan has arrived. Thank heavens. I was getting bored. No. Well, good. Now that more friends are here in chat, that is good. Hope everyone is enjoying this. What do they call it? Social distancing and taking care of yourself. No, it's pretty crazy out there right now. I'm not gonna lie. I hope everyone is making smart and wise choices and I don't know, taking care of yourself, taking care of your families, taking care of your friends, all that good-ish. Let me see. So what do you got to say? Yes, I did come back. Wait, because she's supposed to... Oh, wait, yeah, because I talked to her. She technically gave me that quest, so... I saved her husband who knows how to run really fast, but can't kill robots. And they just give you a mine parts kit, which... you now take back out to that car out front that Roll was standing next to, and she shows you how to make parts. And so apparently these people used to be like diggers when they were younger. Yeah, they don't have any ship parts, but as you'll find eventually, most people on this island don't have significant amounts of ship parts, and that's fine. But he gives you pretty much every other part you need to upgrade Mega Man. Ooh. Should we tell them that my name is Mega Man, or should we tell them my name is Hippopotamus? Not sure. You know what? I'm feeling like this is a lawful good run, so I don't think Hippopotamus actually changes anything with the alignment system I was talking about. That's more like tasks and... there's a big battle in the town later that really affects how your alignment changes as Mega Man in this game. But I'll go with Mega Man. But I appreciate that they gave you Hippopotamus as a choice. So we're playing Hippopotamus Legends now. Yeah. So if I go out and then go back in, the part shop here will be open normally. Chat is emote only. Oh. This room is an emote mode. You can find your kind of emote. How do you turn that off? Oh gosh, I feel like a big dummy. Emotes only chat. Okay, I think that's off. Wow. I had no idea. Sorry. Emote only chat. Man, I don't know. You don't use Twitch for like 8 months and they like just add new features. I'm pretty sure it's set good now. That's nice because I keep the chat box open next to my my page, but I don't keep the whole Twitch window open because it just makes things easier if I have more processing power on the way I run things on my PC. But yeah, emotes only chat off. Okay, thank heavens. So now anyone who's been wanting to talk normally can shoot their shot, as they were. Wait, can I not buy things at the item shop from them yet? You can get into the ruins. Yeah, you get different license classes in here, by the way. Over the ones up in Closer Woods. But who's this kid? Are you a digger? Yes, I am. I'm here doing research on the ruins of this island here. Sure, a lot of them aren't there. Okay. It's delayed? Let me buy stuff. I could buy stuff in here. Maybe it's not yet. There we go. Anyway. I don't know. Getting Twitch to get back up to normal working speed was a bit of a hassle today. The stream started even later because there was it gave me like a weird error message or something when I was trying to load up. I don't know. Everything seems to be running smoothly now, but I'm sure something else will happen in time, so please prepare.
Mega Man, were you able to find anything? Oh. If you can't find any parts in town, I guess we'll have to try digging for them ourselves.
That's what the man at the junk store said.
That might take a while. Which means... Huh? Mega Man, what's that? It looks like a weapons upgrade module.
Oh, this? Yeah, the junk store man gave it to me. He said we could use this car to hook it up.
The trash man.
You mean we can use this car? Well, come on then. Let's get it attached right away. There, it's ready. This weapon lets you use landmines. Just drop them in front of an oncoming enemy and boom! Just remember, there's a limited number of mines, so make sure you use them sparingly. Do you want me to explain what this weapon does again?
No, thank you.
I'll get to work on fixing this car up. I'll be able to help you out and maybe spot for you if I can get it running again.
Yeah, so now this is where you hook up special weapons and get everything from Mega Man. So, item development is her just like making items once you have the parts. She does it for you. But a big part of it is also like actually upgrading the weapons, because some are almost, I would say, useless before you upgrade them. Let me see. You can use it to switch weapons. Okay, yeah. And it's explaining the weapons and how you use them. Pretty simple. It's similar to just like how you would get powers from bosses in other games in Mega Man, but in this game instead, because it's more about exploring and then, you know, going to the ruins. There are bosses in this game, but they're different than, I would say, the traditional Mega Man bosses. There's no like Guts Man or Ice Man or the animal themed ones from the X games. Anyway, you'll see. And we're out of here. And Data is still dancing like crazy. We love it. I wish I could get a Data dance and chat emote going, because that'd be great.
I've been looking for you so I could give you this. Your citizen's card.
Thank heavens, Mega Man's not an illegal
Now
alien
you'll be
on
able
this
to use
island
the city
anymore.
gates.
Holy moly.
Of course, there are some gates that can't be opened, but
Why's that?
pirates.
Oh,
We've
man.
received information that indicates there are some headed this way. So as a precaution, we're evacuating the civilians
Mega Man's
and
about to
locking
fight
the
some
gates.
pirates. Let's go.
Pirates?
Kind of nonsense.
Our grandfather is still inside the city. Will he be all right?
Well, I'm sure he's heard the announcements about the pirates. If I see him, I'll make sure he gets to a safe place. If you'll excuse me.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Policeman. I'll watch out for all these pirates.
I'm worried about Gramps. I hope he'll be okay.
I'll go look for him. You wait here.
Okay, Mega Man. Be careful.
Bye-bye. So now that Mega Man is officially an island citizen, he's not just a crash landing immigrant. Let's get inside this town. Oh yeah, and then there's these kids right here again, so I think... Oh right, and this is where the game tells you how you can, like, not crouch, but you slow walk, like you strafe a little, and then you kind of just do a cool guy walk real slow up to them, but like just far enough that you can't tell. I think that is only actually good for like sneaking up on them like this. Girl looks suspicious. Oh, is she a pirate? What girl are they talking about? Get out of here. Anyway, hold on. Let me actually go back in the junk shop because I think I can get some stuff now. Yes, okay. So this is how it shows up normally. So you can get items, which you get, let me see, show repairs damage, life shield. Life shield makes it so Mega Man gets knocked back way less. If you take too much damage in fights, if you don't get like roll to repair it or something else, then you can get armor for Mega Man that makes it so it never gets damaged, but in the beginning it just makes it so you take more damage, but you also fall back more from enemy attacks. But right now I can buy an actual, like, I can buy more life. It's like buying a heart container in like the old, or finding them in like stages in the old Mega Man games. But the cost for these from this shop keeps going up. I will, let me see, parts. These are just parts for my gun, so... Anything else I want? Usually power is a lot better earlier on in the game. Let's see. Power, and I want to say, I think energy is also actually pretty good. I'll buy one more piece of life gauge, because that's not bad. But yes, that just keeps going up. We'll hold off for now. I'm buying more. But yeah, see, my life gauge on the left is getting a lot bigger. Where'd the can go? The can's over here. Kids have anything to say? Yeah, they're still talking about the suspicious pirate girl. Uh-oh, cute pirate girl. I wonder who that could be. So let me re-equip different power here, and then... Yeah, I think, if I recall correctly, energy is a good stat to raise earlier on. Because rapid will help sometimes, and then, what is it? Because you have rapid fire, and then you also have, range. It's like either of those are okay, but if you know how to do it right, I think raising energy and then also just power are always going to build Mega Man. Shoot. Okay, let me see if I can think of some fun trivia on top of my head for this game, or even just talk about. So I think I had mentioned earlier. Let me see if a cutscene kicks in first. Hold on. I was going to talk about meat. Yeah, here we go.
Okay, got it? Once the decision's made, there's no turning back. Nothing less than 100%. And remember, it's more than just guns and ships. It's whoever has the most information that wins, right?
Right, we understand. You need to keep your costs and risks as low as possible and stay on schedule.
That's right. You've got it. Huh? What are you looking at?
Is that a fourth wall break? So that's Tron, who is the one who I mentioned gets her own side game later, but being, let's just say she's the rival character in this game of sorts. Her and her pirate crew that she comes from fight Mega Man all the time. And they're here terrorizing this island, and this is how they come to meet each other. Anyway, I was mentioning that, let's see, so I first played this game when friend of mine let me borrow it, so let's try it at his house. I don't remember if that friend had it on PlayStation or had this on Nintendo 64. The PlayStation version did come first, and I think overall is the better version. The N64 has like slightly better quality of models, but because of the way that the N64's resolution is a little muddier than the PS1's sometimes, it's kind of a hit or miss. Also, the the music quality, like many ports between N64 and PS1 games, is not as up to par as it is in here. Things sound a little more muffled, just for compression's sake. And only this game got ported to N64. Did I get this already? The other two games in the series, Misadventures of Tron Bond and then Legends 2, are only released on PlayStation. So naturally, when I became a fan of this first game and found out that other games were coming, I was like, well, at this point, might as well just ask to get a PlayStation. So once PlayStations or PS1s were rather cheap and easy to get a hold of, let me see, it's a vending machine. Do you want to put it? Yes, I will. Got a soft drink. I think that heals me if I need it, but PlayStations were pretty cheap once they got closer to the end of their life cycle, since they had sold so well. So if you got a used one, it was, not that big of a deal. So I got that, and then I walked out of a used game store, as I usually think is a birthday present for me, was I got that, and then my copy of Megaman Legends, which I am playing right now. It's like I really wanted this game. That and pretty much any other Mega Man game. I just had Mega Man fever at the time. Oh yeah, by the way, this guy's talking about cars driving. The cars and driving on these streets can't hit Mega Man. I don't need to go in the library right now, I don't think. There's tutorials and other things in there. I'm mostly also just searching this side of the town, because you don't always get a chance on the game to go like check the trash cans and everything else. So I'm doing that while I have half a second, because it makes it a lot easier. Let me see. Oh, I also got a special weapon, right? Equip. But yeah, God, I'm going off on all sorts of tangents. That's okay though. But yeah, these games just stuck with me over time, and what is nice is, as I mentioned earlier, they are available on PSN, but only on PS3 and Vita, so it's kind of lame. Which I could use that as a side talking point to go into the fact that also I knew I was supposed to go down that manhole cover that I'm going down, by the way. There's just another part of the city to explore. Or excuse me, another part of the ruins. I want to just check down here, because I forget if there's anything I can get right now. Yeah, there's this little hole here. This actually leads back around to the area where I was before, because I can jump down, but I don't want to do that. I just wanted to see where that led. But yeah, see, the whole city is connected, and I think that's kind of cool. But yeah, thought about upcoming video game systems. With the world being generally health concerned as it is right now, I know that has probably caused, like, not part shortages, but concerns with the potential of what's supposed to be like the next upcoming generation of game consoles. Yeah, Mega Man got hit by a car. That's what we wanted. Anyway, well, we get a ride around town. Long story short, whatever PlayStation 5 ends up being, I am not sure, but I would hope that there's kind of a focus to where, like, I'm a big fan of like backwards compatibility. Not everyone is a big fan of that, and I kind of think there should be like a fine balance, whereas I don't think it's realistic that consoles will always have, like, let's say I don't think there'll ever be a console that can like have the ability to play like several generations of games. That's just crazy. That's almost like backwards thinking at this point, like, no pun intended. Might just don't be loitering on these parts. Okay, can I go to this part of the city? Wait just a second. Oh, I can go that way. Okay. but I think digitally, at least, it'd be nice if there was some consideration, because one of the most annoying things I think about the PS4, which is like, I like the PS4 quite a bit. It's a pretty decent little box, you know, it's not perfect. Most new boxes aren't, everything's got some flaws, but I don't like that you're kind of sectioned off in the way that you use like PSN. So it's like you can download a bunch of games on PS4, like PS4 like major games, like digital games, indie games, you know, all sorts of different things. But and those will all work on PS4, right? But if you have like games on your PSN account from your, you know, from PS3 or Vita or anything else, there were games that used to be really good at being like cross-compatible, and they're not anymore. And that's what I think I would like to at least see them try and do for whatever their next PlayStation system is. And the whole reason that loops back around is because all the Megaman Legends games are on there. So, you know, it all comes back to Megaman Legends. Yes, we've been stalking Tron, by the way. Oh, she doesn't want us. Okay, bye. I think there's trash cans in parts of this area of the city that I can dig up too. Which, let me go see really quick. And I would apologize for this segment of me wandering around the town being bad, or excuse me, being a little tedious, but I don't think there's anything to apologize for, because this music, though repetitive, is extremely catchy. Like, if you aren't humming this to sleep tonight, I don't know what you're doing, but it's pretty great. I don't know, how's everyone doing, by the way, as I wander around and make sure I don't leave any trash cans unturned here? Is everyone holding up okay? Are we enjoying our Saturday nights in as they tell us to, I don't know, be safe and be careful? I hope everyone's doing okay. That's all I can ask for. I'm doing okay. Okay, let me see. We are in... Yeah, wait a second. Because you're supposed to go talk to Grandpa, right? Yes, he's here. Please wait 1 minute. Cool. Okay, yeah. Because I was like, you're supposed to go talk to him, and then I'm pretty sure Wolf fixes up the cart. Let me see.
Hey, Megaman! Come to check up on me, eh? Here, let me introduce you to the mayor of this island, Amelia.
I'm Amelia. Nice to meet you.
Oh gosh, man, I love
I'm
this
an old
early
friend of
PS1
Professor
voice
Burroughs.
acting. Old
I
friend,
worked
huh?
as his assistant for a while I was in school.
It's a small world, isn't it?
To tell you the truth, we've gotten reports that there are some pirates headed this way. I was asking the professor if he might have any idea what they're after.
I'll bet anything they're after the legendary treasure supposedly buried on this island.
There are a lot of stories about the treasure, but no one knows exactly what it is. I thought maybe you might know something about it, Professor.
I've been in the digging business a long time, but I haven't been able to find out anything about this island's treasure except legends and myths.
Oh, Legends,
Look,
title
Megaman.
drop.
I'll be here for a while talking with Amelia. So
Yeah, that's
why
what you're
don't you
doing,
go
huh?
back and keep an eye on Roll? Tell her not to worry about me, okay?
If the seals are broken, a terrible disaster will occur. Ah, there it is. She said legend again. Title drop. I think you just straight up leave the mayor's office. I don't think you could explore the actual office as a whole. It's like just this room. But anyway, yeah, so... Oh no, you can explore in here. I knew there was something inside here. It's all coming back to me now. What's this lady gotta say? And everyone's got pirates on the brain. Yeah, obey the law, Mega Man. Don't do any crazy shit. Oh man, I forgot how concerned the citizens are about this pirate invasion here. I mean, it's no coronavirus or anything, but these people are all like ready to shit up.
It's a dog!
Oh, come on now. Yeah, that dog knows something's up.
What's that all about?
He knows this chick's crazy.
What did I ever do to you?
Dog hates pirates. Alright, let's head back. I think the kids... What are these kids doing? I like see... It's just cute seeing like how the town kind of upgrades itself. They made it feel like the world is moving on its own, which I think is pretty strong for an early game like this. Oh yeah, they're trying to call her out as being just like a pirate. Right? It's true, officer. Paprika found a suspicious looking girl. She must be a pirate. See, I love how everyone's concerned about pirates. I mean, these boys are like, "No, we got it," but then the police are like, "No, like, you guys are just bullshit." It's great. Where'd the dog go? Let's see, should we help her? Yeah, we'll help her.
What are you staring at? I'm not a circus clown or something. Go on, get out of here.
I forget, actually. Can you... Oh, you gotta check the dog in.
Hey, cut it out! Don't you know you can't treat girls that way?
You don't chase girls up poles, everyone.
Hey, hold on. Down, boy. Down!
Damn. Dog got owned.
Are you alright?
Oh. Baka. And now they kiss.
You just mind your own business.
She likes him. That's a whole little weird undertone thing that's going on in this game. Tron kind of has a thing for Mega Man. But she's still just like, what the heck? I think I'm supposed to go check on roll in front of the town, like Grandpa said. Let me see. Oh yeah, you can't go to the west side of the town for a little bit. You can't go in most of these houses either, by the way. Like, yeah, everyone is rather how do you say? Wait, how do I roll like that? Hey, excuse me. I lost my train of thought, but I know I can go in this library, so let me read this close sign. Never mind. You really can't do much in the beginning of this game, but that's okay. It's slowly all coming back to me. Alright, let's see. The town kind of emptied out, actually. Hold on a second. But that's what I mean, like I mentioned earlier with the boys. Like, this area was really full before, but not so much anymore. And that's, I don't think, a bad thing, because again, it makes it feel like the world's kind of alive. Not completely, of course, you know, like, it's still limited to what the PS1 can do, but it's still real solid. I think that speaks for itself in terms of the quality, at least from the time. It's a shame there was never even a revisiting of this. So for anyone who's curious, so this, like I mentioned, there's just the two main games and a side game. The Tron Von game, where you play as Tron and then her pirate crew and do stuff there. That game works as more of a prequel. It's like still like very close. These are all like very close in time, but yeah, that game works as more of a prequel of sorts. But there was never a Mega Man Legends 3. And I'll talk about that in just a second.
Oh, Mega Man!
Before we go to roll, so I said there's no Mega Man Legends 3, right? Well, you know what? Hold on a second. No. I'll keep you guys baited a little bit before I talk about Legends 3. But...
Where's Gramps? What? He's talking with the mayor at City Hall? I hope he'll be okay. By the way, did you see those weird-looking ships that just flew past here? I've never seen ones like that before. I wonder whose they are.
Oh, more pirate ships.
There goes one.
Oh man, everyone got murdered.
What's that noise? Sounds like... Oh no, they're attacking the city! Gramps is still in there! Mega Man, I'm going to go make sure he's all right. Roll!
I roll. Data's not even out here, actually. Where is Data? This is like actually a really good point to say that, just in general. We're not stopping. I was just pointing out that it'd be a great place to save. Actually, wait, doesn't Data show up inside here? Man, now the pirates are attacking the city. Oh yeah, Data's chilling up here. Yes, please. Do your amazing dance so I can save. Yeah, things pick up pretty fast right now. So you just landed in town, but all of a sudden there's pirates. We're not the only ones trying to come to this island for crazy stuff. I gotta be careful when I save too, because I don't want. I used to give you the option to double check, but I don't ever want to overwrite my original save data.
Hold it right there. You can't go in there. This area's closed off.
Please, officer, let us through. Our grandfather's in there and...
You can't go in either. It's dangerous.
Man, have you ever played Mega Man before?
What's happening?
Just to blow them up.
Those pirates have attacked the island. Just like they said they would. They're after the treasure that's supposed to be buried here. Enough talk. You have to leave here. Now!
Pirates?
They've occupied the gate over there. They're too heavily armed. We can't even get close to them.
Maybe I can do something.
Mega Man, I'm going with you.
No, Roll, it's too dangerous. Let me handle this.
But... All right. You look out for Gramps, okay?
Wait, are you crazy?
Wait! Where do you think you're going?
Bye, Mega
Can
Man.
a single boy possibly do?
Yeah, so you got the little Servbot tanks here.
We're the Bonds. We're pirates. You better watch your
Cool ass pirates.
We're not gonna let you through. So there. We'll be in big trouble if we let anyone through. Miss Tron will punish us. No way we're gonna give you the key. Let's get him!
So one of these 3 bots has a key, right? And let's get to the next area in the city. They mostly just toss it in and out of the carts they have.
Mission start!
So the thing I usually do is, since they each kind of have different stats, is I get like a good strafe going like this. Because they'll start to move. If you touch them...
Let's split up and get out of here. You'll never get the key from us.
If you touch them, they'll also get kind of, let's say, annoying about it. Eventually, too, what sucks is they start trying to destroy the town, right? These 3 aren't too bad, but there's another enemy that will appear here later that will actually start to blow the town up pretty bad. And that is part of what I meant in terms of like Mega Man's alignment meters, where it's like depending on how much of the town you save will determine like how much the people end up liking you. Oh shit, that's the key.
Mission complete!
Never mind that. I did that pretty well. I didn't see where it went before, but now this boss comes in. That was just the pre-boss.
We're so sorry. We lost the key.
Oh, what happened this time? I can't take my eyes off you for a second, can I? Just you wait till we get back. You're in a lot of trouble.
Oh no!
Who needs minions when you have Serbots?
Who was
Like-
that? Wait, wasn't that the same boy as before? He disabled the Bloom Bears by himself.
Bloom Bears are the
don't
name of the robots, by the way.
understand. Whenever I think about him, I get this funny feeling.
Oh no, not on this stream you don't.
Oh, forget it! Who cares what this feeling is? It's all his fault!
No funny
His
feelings
fault! How dare he! I'll teach him not to mess with me or my kids. Here we go! Feldinot, engage!
here. Boing.
Oh,
Hey, you! Thanks to you, everything's a mess now, isn't it?
huh? Aren't you the girl who's being chased by that dog?
Yeah, get
Shut
fucked.
up! I don't want to hear about that.
It's a
Do you know
dog-eat-dog
what you've
world,
done?
friends.
Huh?
You're a lot dumber than you look. You should have
Oh,
known
she's got
better than
the
to pick a
anime
fight with
villain
the
pose. I never
Bonds.
realized that before.
Of course, if you agree to become one of my servants, I suppose I could forgive you.
See, that's why this game is
What
so
do you
good.
say? That way my brother will never have to know about what you did to us.
Join up with pirates? I don't think so.
All right then, forget you. Fine, see if I care. I gave you a chance and you turned it down. Don't come back crying to me later.
Man, he's got a gun on his arm. He's gonna blow
You're
you up.
history! You're toast! Just you wait!
I love how animated their faces are, though. Like, even with just the low, like, frames of animation they have on it, they still express so much. But yeah, a big key to combat here is learning to strafe. Like I said, it's not even really strafing, but just, like, rotating, because Mega Man's, even though you can do a hard lock-on to enemies that, like, aren't in your range, when it's big enemies like this, your gunshots will naturally just sort of do a lock-on. Like, see, I am just strafing and running and moving, and we're doing a fair amount of damage. Like, we've almost got him a third of the way down. Oh, also, by the way, I didn't even realize, I have the mines equipped. The mines are kind of annoying in that you really have to get, like, up front and center. But once you do, you can really just blow things up pretty fast. And I'll talk about actually upgrading your special weapons later. Like, see, I don't even think I got him to touch that. And that's what's so annoying about the mines is you really have to take, like, a... Oh, there you go. You gotta do that. Boom! Got him. Man, she got blown up.
I'm so... I mean...
Not bad. You're stronger than I thought. I'll give you credit for that. Miss Tron!
Are you alright?
Does she look alright?
Get in, quick!
Right?
Get in, we're going to the Wendy's.
It's not over yet. Don't think you've won. Next time, I won't be so easy on you. I'll make sure you pay for this. Let's go! Roger!
Stay with my little friend here. Don't tell him what to do, monkey. No, those fights both went very well. The fight with the bloom bears, the little like rolling tanks for the Serbots, that can often be a little annoying because unless you're like really looking at who throws which key where between each of them, sometimes I think it's kind of just a crapshoot in the beginning. So you kind of just go after one. Usually going after the red or the blue one is good, is like because even if you don't, even if one of them doesn't have the key, knocking those ones out is easier. But yeah, see, so now this house over here, because of the tanks, though, they rolled this house over. But most of the city over here looks like it's still intact, which is really good. Not even just because of that alignment system I've been talking about, but eventually the next part of the city, it's not really much of a spoiler at this point, but there's a big battle that happens there too. And those houses, those ones can get destroyed a lot faster because there's more going on during that fight. But you can eventually donate to the mayor, the Amelia lady we spoke to earlier. She opens like a donation fund. That's like a side quest in which you can like repair the town. So the less money you have to spend on that, the better. So like we only have one house in this area to repair, which is pretty good. So anyway, let's skedaddle over here.
Indications are that the mysterious group of pirates will continue its offensive for the foreseeable future. Recapping our top story of the day, at 2 o'clock this afternoon, the city center was attacked by a group of unknown pirates who demanded they be given the keys to the caves and tunnels underneath our island. The mayor has refused to give in to their demands and is currently under siege alone in City Hall. Local police are helpless in front of the power of the pirates' weapons. It may be only a matter of time before City Hall is destroyed.
Yeah, what a
Hopes
newscaster.
are rapidly fading as... I've just been handed this update, viewers. It appears that the robots and machines being used to lay siege to the city have been destroyed by a single young boy. And now, that same boy has come through the gate and is heading towards City Hall. Wait! There he is!
Break the fourth
I
wall.
can see him! He really is alone! Can this lone hero save the mayor?
Now, see, this is where things get annoying, is because you have to defend City Hall. So you kind of have to choose, do you want to defend City Hall or defend the houses? Usually saving City Hall and letting the houses kind of fall, no rhyme intended, is a lot wiser. But it's kind of like a, you know, fend for yourself kind of a thing. Because repairing City Hall itself is way more of a pain over time, and I'm pretty sure it costs more money. And it sucks too, because these enemies don't have life bars. So let me see. These ones in the sky are a real pain in the ass too, because they're gonna drop bombs and everything, and that's just, I don't know, that's harder to deal with. But if you can go drop mines, like I just did to get rid of that red one, like watch this. Because mines will do a fat amount of damage to a lot of these guys really fast. Let me see if there are other big robots around town that I'm missing. Yeah, see, that's another problem too, is you don't really have a solid enemy radar going on. You really have to explore and make sure you take them all out. There's not a whole lot of them, but you can easily lose sight of them just because of the draw distance in this game. It's old school.
You there!
There you go.
Those robots are being deployed by a flying carrier! You should go after that first if you want to stop them!
Oh, also fun fact, like talking about the alignment chart thing earlier, I think you can destroy the newscaster airship if you get good enough at it. But yeah, so the thing is, you kind of got to cycle between like killing off the robots, but then also killing off the carriers slowly. Because that way, then they just stop spawning. It's a tough balance if you want to do it just right. You should probably also go check on City Hall. Oops. I don't know how well this is going. You usually don't know how well you've done until closer to the end. I think we're doing okay so far. It's hard to tell. Okay. I'd like to at least destroy one of the carriers. See, with these, I can mostly just... Okay, there we go. One finally went down. Thank heavens. Okay, now more red ones are coming. So I think because I kept up with the destroying pretty well, I'm gonna be okay. Because... Okay, that one also went down. Let's see how good I can do. See, things kind of quiet down. Shoot. Oh, cool. Get the serve by. Get the little guy. Watch this. You can kind of... Oh, I wanted to shoot him. Oh, well. Oh, yeah, you get to just knock them over, and they just... they're fried. Mega Man can be terribly abusive in this game. Okay, so there's one over here. I think I need a... Oh, shoot. Okay, so that house got leveled. But again, if City Hall is at least saved, then that tends to be okay. Destroy any other flyers that are still around here, so there goes one. I think it's just that one that's left. Yeah, so usually for me when I do this I forget all the stuff that's on that far side of town there. I think we're doing okay though, because all those houses are still up. City Hall is not. City Hall can like look like it's starting to tear down over time. Like see how that building over there looks kind of decrepit all of a sudden. Let me see. So this is the last one over here, and it's gonna keep dropping ships in like that. The problem is you have to, when you lock on, that stops you in place, so it makes it kind of hard to chase down enemies in the sky like that. Annoying, but it is what it is. And this one is going all over the city. I think it's the last carrier. Let's see here. There we go. Boom, boom. We got him. Nice. Let me get this big blue one, please. There we go. Yes. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was actually pretty good. But we got our boy here. So this is Bon, or like Bon, I think is his name. It's a weird. The way you read it is kind of weird. He's got this little flyer mech here. Oh gosh. Okay, this fight is quite annoying as I recall. You really have to like... shoot. I forget how these work. Yeah, okay, so when he shoots like that, you have to run straight forward, or else you're not gonna dodge those very well. But he will also just start destroying houses, which is a pain in the butt. Oh god, he does so much damage too. I might actually lose this fight. I'm kind of annoyed by that. I thought I was gonna do well. These are tough in the beginning of this game. And then he does that stupid, like, party favor attack there. If you can try and draw him to the lower part of the city, then he won't destroy as many things, but it's hard to do. I think oh man, oh, that feels bad. I forgot how annoying and long-winded that fight is. I may have to go back and regroup. Well, so that's a game over screen. This game gets, it sounds very dire, but you can just skip right past it. Good thing I saved that little data there. Hold on a
Good
second.
luck.
So, well, let me jump back in. I forgot how annoying that fight can be. Some of the fights in the game feel like they're like stacked in a weird way. But another part about the special weapons is that like having the mines that I have, they're completely useless in fighting him. They're way better. There are special weapons in the game that are, I think, way better equipped for certain fights versus what you end up with at some points. Like right now, the mines are almost useless. I'm gonna just see if I can go buy more life from the weapon shop really quick, just so I can go into that fight a little better equipped. The music is completely dead here too. Okay, does she have any other parts? No, she doesn't. So what I also just bought too is this energy canteen. So what it does is I can actually just gonna max out and spend as much money as I can. That should leave me more than safe. So I bought another life pip for my life bar on the left there. But something I forgot to buy is how E-tanks are always a thing in Megaman games. You're just having a little health if you need it. In this game, it is very useful early on when you don't have a great setup of parts. So you just use normal items, and then we know where was it? Special items. There you go, special items, and then it pops in 6 extra life bars, which in the beginning, again, pretty valuable. So I went in pretty dry to the next area. So we're gonna have to defend the houses again, I want to say. But let me also save it data, just to be safe. There we go. Oof, this deadly silence is killing me. Alright, let's get in there. Yeah, we did pretty good, so I'm going to see if I can actually do even better on my...
Indications.
Okay, actually, thankfully we can skip cutscenes in here, even though there's not a definite indication that you can. So let me see if I can actually... I'm going to see if I can balance between dumping off some of the little tanks and then... Because the flyers, getting rid of those, that's the key thing, right? Like that's the best you can do. But it's finding the balance is really tough. So earlier, a bunch of these houses died in my other place earlier. And the flyers will start to recover them one by one, but again, really City Hall is still what I want to focus on. I know there's a red one attacking it now. I know there's stuff over there too. I'm doing worse. Yeah, I'm doing worse the second time. Oh, that doesn't feel good at all. I did so good at protecting City Hall last time, man. Oh, you know what? I'm really gonna try and just. Okay, there goes one flyer. That's good. Oh god. Okay, the police station's almost dead. That sucks. But I did destroy one of the flyers, which makes it easier to kill the robots because they don't spawn as fast. I think that's correct. Whereas I saw one flying in. He's dropping enough way over there. Oh, so that house still got destroyed. Hey, okay, you know, you come here. Where's? Come here. That's another thing too, is just the lock on it, because when these enemies rotate like this, it gets quite frustrating. I almost got it. I want to go get that red robot over there too, but I don't want City Hall to hit everything. Get the money first though. There we go. Okay, yeah, we're doing good so far. Except for City Hall has a little bit. Oof. I also don't want to take too much damage in this fight either, but I need to make sure I save it for the next one. Oh, that house back there. Wait, did that house get destroyed? No, it didn't. I still need to go after the final carrier though, so let me see. See if I can find it. Okay, wait, over there. And it's going over there, so let me just go kill the robots while I can. I feel like I'm doing worse this time around, but I'll take the L on that, as it were, for the sake of me having cheesed it so bad with the boss fight previously. But now I remember that if I go down there, one that leaves the there we go. And I think it's just this one left over here. Yeah, not this building, this bank isn't doing too bad. The thing is, you can't go in all the buildings, but I think you can go into the police station and, there we go. That still wasn't too bad. City Hall is intact, more or less. Alright, let's get my boy Bon Bon over here. Alright, this time I'm ready, because now I remember everything he does. I mostly want to keep him away from the houses. So yeah, if I get him to run far enough away and not run into any benches in my opposing path, oh man, I'm getting slapped quite literally. Oh, I've got him trapped against the wall. Oh no, no, come back, that was good. Is he just, I forget if he follows me everywhere. Oh no, because then he's going to try and go attack City Hall, so you really do have to keep him occupied. Yeah, you just gotta make sure to always be jumping straight back. Oh jeez. God, that's brutal. Wait, what is he? Oh god, oh god, oh god, please no. Oh, that is disgustingly brutal. I try and use these walls as like a way to not get hit by him. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Oh god, oh god. Because you can just get them all to like not attack each other. And they do explode over time if you run away long enough from them. Ooh, I've almost got him. Okay, yeah. That fight is just very tough at first, as you saw, because he's relentless if you let him be. But if you get him to cycle like that, then it works well.
Are you alright?
So he's just a giant head baby. And there's their giant cool airship that looks like a big fish. I think the Gassel Shaft is what it's called. Gassel Shaft? Gassel Shaft? And here's their evil leader.
What the heck happened to Tron and Bond? They should have been back by now. Oh, those two. No, I told them they were in charge, so I won't worry. I'll let them take care of it themselves. Hey, look at the clock! It's almost time for my favorite show! I almost missed it!
Next story. City Hall was attacked by a mysterious group of assailants this afternoon, but their offensive was beaten back by an equally mysterious young boy, pictured here on screen.
Oh, who could it be?
What? What? Who the heck is that blue boy? So Bond was defeated, but what about Tron? This is a potential disaster! We could end up losing a lot of money on this one!
I love his hair sticking up in the back.
Alright, it's obvious that I, Teaselbon, will have to assume command. Who needs that key anyway? It might take some time, and it might take some money, but who cares? I'll use my ultimate digging machine, the Moral Wolf, to dig up the treasure myself! And I won't let any little blue boy get in my way either! Huh?
Say what
Wait
you
a
will.
sec. Bond's probably okay.
Wait a
But
second.
what about Tron?
So yeah, the saga continues with these pirates. We basically ended what I
Mission
would
complete!
probably consider as chapter 1. Yeah, so
Megaman!
the way that her voice said like mission complete, that means, hold on a
You
second.
did it, Megaman! Come on, let's go look for Gramps.
That means we generally save the city, is what I was gonna say. Some of the smaller buildings are still destroyed, I think, but because I made City Hall still stay in one piece, sends like the little smoke bits at the top. Overall, things are pretty good.
Mega Man, roll! Sorry to give you a scare like that. Don't you worry, though. I'm as healthy as I ever was.
That's a relief. We were worried about you, Gramps.
With your help, we were able to keep those pirates from getting the key to the ruins. Thank you.
Amelia says she'll give us a digger's license as thanks for helping her. Now we'll be able to look for parts to fix the flutter.
I know it's not much, but it's the least I can do for you.
Yeah, I have a better life now.
Excuse me. Your Honor, we got a new problem. Those pirates have started digging up the northern forest.
What? They weren't able to get the key, so they must be going after the treasure directly.
I'm amazed they'd go to that much trouble. Even if they are criminals, you've got to admire their persistence.
Who knows what will happen if they get their hands on the treasure? Inspector, I want you to arrest them immediately.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see, I don't know if she talks to you about town recovery. With a Class B license, you can get into the ruins in the Cardin Forest to the south, and the ruins up north in the Closer Woods. So yeah, I'm actually gonna go south because we're gonna detour for a little bit and like do a little side questing. Let's see, what's Barrel have to say? We'll have to make sure we get to the ruins before the pirates do it. We're sure they won't leave much by the time they're done. And thankfully, that's not a time thing, so I can take a. Like
Wait a minute,
hard-
Megaman.
What? Oh, she's
I'm
gonna.
going with
Hold on
you.
a second. Let's see what's gonna happen here. She's gonna show me that she fixed up the truck, the one that was like ruined out front of the city before.
Look, Megaman.
She fixed it all up real nice.
I fixed the car the junk shop owner gave us. I may not have been able to get it fixed in time to help you before, but next time, you can count on me. There goes the inspector and his men off to get the pirates. I wonder if he'll be all right.
If they're using weapons like they did before, the inspector might have some trouble. Not to mention
that the pirates are likely to steal everything if they get there first.
Roll, I think I better go help them.
Be careful, Megaman.
You go help the cops.
I'll wait
Mega
for
Man.
you in the car. If you find some parts that you think might be useful, bring them back to me. I'll get them fixed up and attach them for you.
Here we go. So now you can get
Right.
into
See you later.
the better cycle of the game. So we're actually gonna go inside Roll's where did the car go? See, I think this house is fine. These houses are all fine. The police station is a little wrecked over there, but it's still a thing. City Hall is fine, which again, that's the main part, so you can still get the proper mission complete jingle. Leave the shelter is what. And then yeah, just these two houses. So really, I did pretty good, I would say, at keeping the mayor's office safe and the whole city safe for the most part, anyway. But that can be like a really early part of the game that screws people up and like leaves them with way more to recover later on in the game. Let me see if she says anything about that now that I did that again. Okay, because I know there's a point where she does explain to me that I can like start donating some money as I progress through the game to to make sure that the city houses and everything get repaired properly, but I guess that's not yet. Maybe it comes in earlier, as I think if you like have more of the town ruined, but because there's less ruin, it doesn't mean a thing yet. It's been a minute. Anyway, let me talk to a roll. Alright, so she's going to talk about special weapon changing and then upgrading as well. Which is weird because she's like, pay me money to enhance these weapons, but it's like, it's just cycling back and forth because we're both part of the same group? I don't know. But that's why I want to go explore the ruins back where I got the new license for before we go to the area that's higher up. Yeah, you get the walking from roll, so you can call her and have her take you wherever you want. And she obviously can't get you everywhere. Like when you're in the ruins, she can't come get you, of course. So special weapons. I don't think I have anything else besides the splash mine. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different crazy special items you can get. So it's pretty neat, and they're pretty in-depth for a Mega Man game. And so each of them has a stat on the side there. Attack, it's pretty much all the same, except special, I think, like, enhances whatever the special quality of the weapon is. So, like, with mines, I think your, like, mine AoE range is, like, way bigger. Because versus, like, the actual range of the weapon is, like, you literally drop it right in front of you, like I was saying. So it's not always super useful for every fight, but it does work for some. So you can do enhance. So let me... and you enhance each stat. So, like, some of the ones that can't be enhanced, you just, like, there you go. So with the mine, all you can really do is pop a few dollars into energy and then eventually attack. Energy is for this. It's for these three, it doesn't matter anything, but attack here is just like how much damage it does. Oh, some money there too. Some of them give you bigger stat boosts than others too. Like mine's just maxed out in terms of damage I can do. They can't go like all the way across. Some weapons have really high potentials in terms of like how much money you can dump into it. Like a couple of the final like or later game weapons you can get. Like there's one called Ray, or like Shining Ray, Shining Laser, or something like that. And that one you can upgrade like a ridiculous amount. Like you have to grind and like pretty much waste all your post game time doing it if you want to just do it for fun. And then you pretty much just have like a one-hit kill, like death touch item. It's really cool that you can have that much. That you have that much variety in terms of like how much you can upgrade in the game. But at the same time, it's also like there's not much to use it on. And I always struggle with like, well, I don't know. That's cool. Game gives you those options, but I don't know. If there's nothing to use it on, there's always such a low incentive for me to like fully max everything out. I don't think we have anything, so like roll always will just like look right through your inventory, and then she'll let you know if you have items that she can make parts out of, or excuse me, weapons out of for you. She'll let you know. And then let me see. So where can we move? Let's go downtown. Saves us a loading screen if anything. But yeah, roll will make whatever items you have based on like if you have the proper junk parts that you picked up. But beyond that, I'll leave for a second. I will go save with data, but I'm waiting till we get out front of the town. I want to go south. And yeah, there was just the one house that got destroyed back there, so that's fine. Can I go in the library yet? I don't know if there was. Yeah, okay, it's so closed. Gosh. Anyway, hi. Hope everyone's enjoying this Mega Man Legends stream so far. I'm actually getting kind of into playing this game again, but I love this game. So earlier, actually, let's jump back on tangent as we segue. Mega Man Legends 3. Mega Man Legends 3 was going to exist at a time. For years, several people inside Capcom were like, yeah, we wanted to make this game. We just never did. With a single life gauge. Flak jacket. Oh, I think that's a piece of armor I can buy. Parts, give me 1 second. Last week. Can I buy by... Oh no, those are just other Buster parts. 1 second as I read this. Actually, let me mix that up. I'm gonna buy this. Anyway, Megaman Legends 3 was going to exist at one point. People inside Capcom internally had said, hey, like, we enjoyed the first, you know, couple Legends games we made, but I think 2000 or 2001 was when Legends 2 came out, and then that was it. Like, they just didn't do much after it, because the series was kind of niche. Like, it did okay, but, okay, do I want the energy, or do I want the rapid fire like that? I think I actually might keep it like that. But yeah, Megaman Legends did well in terms of getting like a niche fan base and having people who really enjoyed the game, but at the same time, it didn't catch on the way other Mega Man games did. And also at the time, Capcom, I mean, they were just branching out, trying just about everything they could with Mega Man at the point, because there was Mega Man 8 had came out on the PS1, Mega Man X4 through 6 had came out, and then moving on, you had all the Game Boy Advance games that were starting to come out. Mega Man was... There were a lot of different Mega Man ideas on the table, but even so, this was the only 3D one, and I don't think they expected it to get like the amount of, I guess let's say, passionate fans as the series kind of has gotten over the years. So over time, you know, they had always gotten questions like, oh, will there ever be like a third Legends game? Because the third game leaves us off on quite the cliffhanger at the ending. Like this first game, when it ends, it feels like a completed arc of like what happens in this game, but it was very much the idea of like, oh, this game's a one-off game. You know, it tells this interesting and like lightheartedly fun story in this like simple world that's got a cool backstory to it and has like just enough mystery for you to like, you know, imagine the own pieces in your head. Wait, what's this guy? Oh my. The officers who were sent to arrest the pirates, well, you see, they were faced with heavy resistance and, well... Yeah, that is true. No, I got you. Thank you, prescription. Yeah, Data does leave you with a bit of a spoiler at the end of this game, but it's a little loose. It's definitely not as like not as heavy, I would say, as the spoiler at the end of Legends 2. That is correct, though. I won't get too far into it. We'll let everyone else catch up to it at the time. But yeah, Data, our friend in travel here, he, like I said way earlier, he knows all, but he helps us with some things later. Actually, speaking of Data, I should save, but also heal up if I'm going to go up in these runes down here. But regardless, the series itself as a whole, despite, you know, little loose bits that, you know, could hypothetically have led to a next game, which they did, this game could have been left in just a bubble, you know, the first game, and nothing could happen to it. But the first one was decently popular enough for the time, so it got to you know, a side game and then a full sequel. But Legends 2 did not sell as good as 1 did, and at that point, you know, like you threw ideas out, they either worked or they didn't, and then you just kept going. That's how game dev stuff has always been. But so anyway, for years, Legends 3 was a game that people were asking for. It just never happened until eventually they did announce it, and this was back in like 2010, I want to say. It was supposed to be on the 3DS, and they had put out even like they put out some trailers, and there was this whole big project and where they were going to put out like demos monthly on the 3DS after a certain point, where they were like going to take a lot of fan input and like almost use the fans for, let's say, like bug testing to a certain extent, or like just have different demos come out like that. But it was really interesting, at least the ideas that they had put together for it. But eventually the project just got canned, which was really disappointing, and some people working on the project eventually left Capcom for better or for worse. Yeah, Legends 3 is just kind of dead now. You can look it up. There's demo footage of it out there. Like, people played on interview shows. It was never publicly released. I'm not sure if there was even a demo cart that, you know, like, existed for the 3DS. It could have just been, like, a demo unit that had... Jeez, there was something behind me. A demo unit that had, you know, the data on it, and then it just got erased later by Capcom or something like that. But, yeah, it's kind of sad. It's sad overall because the Legends series, it's fun and interesting, and as, like, a series that was made more so because of, you know, the pressure from higher-ups to have Mega Man be 3D versus, like, you know, made for the sake of it, I think it came out to be way more endearing than I think the, like, heads of the series as a whole would have intended on their first go-through. They mostly had to make the game, like I've said before, like, because they had to. They were told, like, yo, we need Mega Man and we need him in 3D, where, like, you want a paycheck? And that's how this game came to be, but it, you know, ended up being pretty fun to run through, and that was kind of the point. And I mostly did potato. Okay, I didn't go this route. I was making fun of myself because I wasn't sure if I'd come back from this hallway or not. Yeah, that's essentially the full story of where the Legends series starts and ends. It's disappointing. It's disappointing because I think Legends 3 could have built even more upon what was going on in the first two games. Not even just, like, story-wise, but play-wise. There's a really nice jump in, like, quality of life features in between Legends 1 and 2, even so. Whereas, like, as I said when I started, like, the game's kind of clunky. Like, you have to rotate the camera with the shoulder buttons, and it's really... It's primitive. It's primitive 3D to the point of, like, it works, but it's not quite, like, Ocarina of Time, Mario 64, like, real solid, like, now you more or less got it right on your first try for the most part. It's got some rough spots, but you can tell that they were at least really trying to improve it with the second game. So I do think it's a shame we didn't see even more of that, because what, Legends 3 would have come out almost like 10 years after Legends 2 came out, so you would have had a lot of improvement, I think, and it would have been interesting to see how they oh gosh. So this is what's in this deeper part of the Ruin series, this big this big Reaver bot that's sort of like the one that we fought in the beginning of the game, but he has two big arms. This is actually a fight in which the mines would come in quite handy. If you can get behind him like this, it's actually quite easy to get him from the back. I think you just get a lot of money if you win this fight. I don't think anything else happens, or we'll find out. Let's set some more mine traps. There we go, we got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got him. There we go. See, that was just a fat chunk of change for beating the robot. But that's kind of what's fun about just, like, exploring this major dungeon. I'm trying to think of another game that does that. I know several games do that, where there's, like, one major dungeon or one major big thing to do, and then there's, like, a bunch of key dungeon. I just guess if you really want to stretch it, Persona 5 does that. Gang, gang. Gang, gang, indeed. But yeah, pour one out for Legends 3, because that was sad, man. Because that game, it took a year or two for that game to officially get, like, canceled too, which sucked. Because there was actually a time when people were really hyped up for it. And it got canceled in a time when, like, other awkward cancellations and announcements were happening. Like, Legends 3 got canceled. A bunch of other Mega Man projects got canceled at the time. What else happened? I think that was like 2012 when that happened. Jeez, I don't know. It's been a fat minute. Yeah, Jesus. forgive me as I focus on strafing around all these crazy long-legged robots. Don't step on the mine. Someone step on the mine. Oh, none of them step on the mine. Man, mines are so useless unless you have an enemy that has like a tracked path like the robot. Oh, they explode over time. I forgot about that. That's right. I don't know. I still would hope they revisit Legends 3 someday, because Capcom went through a really rough patch for a minute, like last generation as well. You had strong starts from, you know, games like Lost Planet or Dead Rising, and, you know, you had like Devil May Cry 4 come out, and like Monster Hunter was still doing really good on the PSP, and Street Fighter 4 came out and, you know, like, give a shot in the arm injection to fighting games and stuff, and like that was cool. Heck, you even had Mega Man 9 and 10, which were really good, done in the style of like the classic games. Mega Man was kind of starting to hit a bit of a fatigue when Capcom was jumping into the 7th generation, because there have just been so many Mega Man games. Like, now you can get the collection packs, and it's like, yeah, nowadays we're like kind of starting to balance out in terms of what we get, because we got Mega Man 11, you can get the collection packs of the older games, and you know, you still have access, which is nice, but there's still, like, we went from this point of having, like, consistent Mega Man to having, like, nothing for a good solid amount of time, and so it was a weird contrast. And I think now things are starting to balance out, so, like, I don't know, could we see another X game? Could we see another Legends game? No idea. I don't think we'll see other Zero or ZX games, mostly because I feel like the stories told in those games, from what I remember, are more or less done. Like, I know 0, 1 through 4 is pretty complete. Kind of the same as the Battle Network games, whereas, like, I love the Battle Network games. Again, being as into Mega Man as I was at the time. What's in this hole in the wall, by the way? Old shield. I think that just makes a little shield. Yes, I know. Yeah, no, the stories in the Zero games that I'm pretty sure ZX and ZX Advent, I want to say that ZX Advent also, like, ends up the story and from both of those games. It's been a fat minute since I've played them all the way through. I meant to get that collection pack for it, I just haven't yet, but I will at some point. But I do recall the stories in those games being pretty rounded out by the time you finished all of them. Same as Battle Network, and I hope there's a Battle Network collection. Those games have, like, hardly had any secondary access after the Game Boy Advance. I think you can get them on, like, the Wii U shop, but I mean, it's at that point it's easier to get the Legends games because you can just grab a Vita or a PS3 versus trying to actually get a Wii U and set up just to play Mega Man Battle Network. But though the point of bringing up Battle Network is those games also finish their story, if you will. So now we've looped back around, by the way, in this dungeon before we came in from, like, over there. Plus, I think that's another weapon part. Unless, wait a second. Oh no. Attack 1, range 2. Let me see. So it's good also, by the way, I'm focusing on this for a second, like how now I have parts that give me multiple stat boosts with only 2 parts equipped. You get a third or fourth slot, I think, for equipping items. Mixing and matching. Oh no, it's a trapped enemy boss. What is this, an RPG? But having a more balanced Mega Man, I think, is pretty good. Depending on the kind of enemies you're fighting. In a dungeon, I like to balance it up while you can. But yeah, Battle Network finished its entire storyline. I never played the third Star Force game, which was the, like, direct follow-up to Battle Network in terms of, like, similar gameplay and even being in, like, the same world. So I don't know if the Star Force games finish up that story. But yeah, I think of all the Mega Mans that are kind of left up to just doing their own thing, the classic series is very much. Does this game have quizzes about punk rock like that? No, it does not. That's and so yeah, for anyone else watching, is El Tubacabra, who is actually a very background benefactor to this stream. terms of how you were hearing my voice tonight, has asked a quiz. In Legends 2, there's a side quest, which there are a lot more side quests in that game, so it's much bigger than this one. You get to go to several islands, not just this one. There's a side quest in that game in which you, you have to take a quiz. It's just like a quiz master, and then the first quiz is like 10 or 15 questions about like just like stuff in the game. That's about it. I think we have fully looped back around, by the way. Okay, I got those parts that I got. I'm gonna head out of here. But you take a quiz, right? And then it's just like quiz about in-game questions. But then after that, to get a another item part to build another item, it's totally optional. You can still do it. You take a quiz. Let me call roll, by the way, so I can see if I can build anything. You can take a quiz in which it's like a 100-question quiz, and it's all like American pop culture stuff. I have no idea what the quiz questions are in the Japanese version of the game. They might actually be the same, because like some kind of pop culture quiz like that would make sense, or it's like maybe it's Japanese pop culture stuff. But there's actually like questions about like, oh, who are the members, like which one of these members is like not a Beatle or something like that. Like it's not that's probably not an exact question, but I'm not exaggerating in that it like totally flips the script, and it's like you wouldn't know any of these questions by like actually playing this like Megaman Legends 2, which is really funny. So I don't know, I thought that was interesting to be like, nah, you want this really cool. I think you get like Zero's sword from the Megaman X and Zero games. I want to say that was like what the item was for that. I don't know, it's ridiculous. So, but yeah, no, this game doesn't have that crazy quiz. Most of the items you just get from treasure hunting. Anyway, special weapons. Oh, item development. Oh, I can't build anything yet? Oh well. It's always good to check though. Let me see. What are we at? Okay, I've been up for 2 hours so far. Let me go to the forest and actually let me talk to Data. Yeah, that's correct. There's definitely, I think, I remember the Sex Pistols being involved too. I think the most interesting and also like heartfelt / warming / like kind of sad side quest that ends up happening in this game is it's not much of a spoiler because I would want to show it to you guys eventually at some point anyway, but there's a side quest in which in another region of the town, the western side of town I think it is, that we'll go to at some point later. Probably not tonight. We'll probably get there in the next round of Megaman Legends we do. But on the west side of town, there's a hospital there, and you meet this little girl who you help her by doing a few random side quests and doing things in that whole side of the town. But this girl is wheelchair bound, and like the whole side quest is that you are just helping her to eventually raise money to like help the hospital upgrade their equipment so she can like get an operation, and like the whole end of the segment is just that like Megaman ends up helping this girl like walk again, and it's like the saddest thing ever, and it's like, what the fuck? It's Megaman, I just want to shoot some guys and like, hey, what am I fighting for? But it's like, no, I don't know, that's why I think people like this game so much, because it's like the other Mega Man games all have their roots more so in like, you know, like Astro Boy, like robots, man versus machine. Like you got the whole like Maverick Hunters versus, you know, Reploids and Mavericks in the X series, and then Battle Network's more just like kids using technology and stuff. And but this game though, it's so much more like adventure, pirates, like heartwarming stories, and all this crazy stuff. I don't know, it's interesting, but yeah, fun side quests these games have. Let's go arrest some pirates now.
Hey, here comes somebody else. He doesn't look like a police officer. Hey, it's that blue guy again. We'll show him, just like we showed that officer.
Oh, they said fuck the cops.
We ain't gonna lose this time.
Serbots don't care at all. So now things are a lot more chill because I'm not worried about the whole town getting destroyed. I still like blowing up their tanks. I love the server bots too. Says Megaman, you don't care. But in the Tronbon game, which I would actually love to show off someday, I'll talk about that in a second too. The general premise of what you do in that game is you play as Tron, and there are stages where you play in a walker that Tron rides, which is sort of like her walker that she uses in the Marvel vs. Capcom games when she's a fighter. It's like pretty much directly inspired towards it, and you control like Mega Man, like it plays like this sort of third-person adventure action shooter sort of game, but you have segments where you actually get to punish and also like reprimand the servbots who aren't doing their jobs right. But let me talk to these fools in this house real quick. That's okay, Megaman said today. What's the inspector got to say? I think everyone is just like, help. Please help Megaman. Legendary disaster, I doubt it. But yeah, so in Misadventures of Tronbon, speaking of Tron, or the Servbots and Tron herself, can I jump up here yet? Okay. Man, you really can't do anything without having a high jump. This is definitely one of those. But in Misadventures of Tronbon, while you have action stages like Mega Man, you have these segments where like you send the Servbots out to do sort of like, I don't want to even say like RTS missions, but you like missions where they'll do things more based around like strategy based like gameplay options, or I don't know. It's interesting. It really has been a minute since I've dived into that game, because I do have that game. That game is also on PSN, but for the longest time, when I was a kid, I would go to my local Hollywood Video or another rental store. We had two in town, and I would jump. There we go. You can do it. I would rent Misadventures of Tronbon for two reasons. One, because I wanted to try the game, and that was after I already had a PS1, but I never bought the game like right when it came out. But I would rent it because I still wanted to play it, and I was like, okay, I'll get my fix on like another Legends game until 2 comes out. But because Tronbon comes with a demo for Megaman Legends 2, and for whatever reason, I think I had the option, like, again, for a birthday gift or something, to have like gotten the game, and I just didn't get that game new for some reason in the store. But eventually I bought Legends 2 brand new, and I still have that copy as well, but I had just never owned Tronbon. I just knew it existed. It took me the longest time, because for years that was like one of my most wanted games I had wanted in my collection. But eventually I did get it, and got it for what I consider to be a pretty fair price considering what I've seen people pay for it now. But I would very much like to show that off. It is thankfully accessible on PSN and goes on sale for cheap all the time, so it's like out there somehow. But let me see. Oh yeah, the weapon shop people just moved here, which is like really convenient. They moved back eventually, but this is just for the sake of like, hey, we're out here now, get some stuff. I don't think I need another life bar or another point in the canteen. Oh, flak jacket, that's the thing I wanted. So this is, it's armor for Mega Man, so he can, excuse me, so he can, I think that just auto-equips? Yeah, it cuts your damage. Oh, no, you have to equip it yourself like that. Yeah, and I think it upgrades over time. Was there anything else that I needed to equip? Let me see. Citizen's card, Class B license, okay. But yeah, that was also something interesting too, where Capcom was like really trying to push the Legends series, and I think that's why after Legends 2 didn't like perform as well as they might have wanted, they like sort of like kind of canned the series more or less, and it's just, I don't know, it's really sad. It's sad they didn't give it a fair enough chance, but like coming out in 2000, it's like that's on the peak of the PS2, and it's like you really needed to have something that made the cut to hold out in the PS2 days at that point. Found money in the trash. Just what I need. but it's Saturday night. How's... hope everyone's doing okay. Again, I've said it before, but just checking in on everyone. If anyone else who has wandered in. I know things are tough out there right now, so as we try to, I don't know, what do they say, social distancing? You can distance yourself as much as you want, but you can at least communicate with people thanks to technology. You know? I don't know how people would handle what's going on in the world right now if we didn't have the ease of communication that we do. It's not to say that social media has completely helped the way that people have, I guess, perceived what's going on in terms of rising health concerns, but it does make communicating with people we care about a lot easier, and I think that's important. So, I don't know. Make sure you communicate with people you care about, even if you can only do it over text or phone or something. I think that's important. That's what Megaman would want to do. Megaman said talk to people. Oh my gosh. Megaman said don't be hit by tanks. Yeah. Oh my. I'm just getting beat up by this tank. Hold on a second. There we go. I'm pretty sure there's a boss coming up in the woods area here. Just one thing I forget. So much of the game is introduced by you like doing these really faster paced like action segments in the beginning, where you're introduced like all these different like stretches of land on the island and all these sections you can come back to later. Because when you come back to later though, you're like looking for cars or going to different ruin entrances and just making sure you explore everything you can. Whereas when you're going through like this, so like I'm just going through trying to get rid of these tanks and then get some extra life and go to the next major race and fight the boss that's coming up. Yeah, here's another ruins entrance. I don't think I can go in here just yet. No, it's fine. I think I'm supposed to go back here, yeah, because I think, yeah, there's my boy with all the answers, my dancing boy. Alright, so I think let's recharge. I think what we will do for tonight, because I did start a bit later, which again I apologize for that. But I think for tonight I will go forward and do the boss that's in here, because this boss, since I actually upgraded my no boss. Oh wait, no, this is the boss. Since I actually was able to upgrade my mine, because I've been doing good on my money in this game so far. We do a significant amount of damage, and mines are actually quite helpful for the bosses coming out. I'm pretty sure I remember how to fight it rather effectively, so let's get in there and see what that means. Big boy Teasel.
I dig and I'm still nowhere near the bottom. Maybe we will need that key after all.
Master Teasel, we were beaten. That blue boy is heading this way.
He's coming. All right, everyone, quit digging. Our priority now is to get rid of our little blue friend, all right? Be careful and don't be fooled by his size. He's already beaten Bon and Tron. Let's do it.
Roger.
Yeah, so part of this fight, you gotta destroy his big digging tank.
Mission start!
And I totally did not need to do that, so I think what I have to do if I'm running, I guess I have to... bam this, so then he can't move very well.
What does he think he's doing?
And then you have to jump up here. Like, see, I think I mentioned like getting knocked back and jeez, not even just knockback, but Mega Man taking more damage if you needed like your life, whatever they called it in the shop, whatever kind of repair it was. Because my life bar is like consistently red on the left there, that means I'll be taking more damage. Thankfully though, we have a full energy tank of enough to keep me boosted, as well as I bought the flak jacket, so I take less damage. So overall things should be good. I forget he also has some attacks that are rather... You're supposed to try and get on the back. And you're supposed to like wait till the door. Boom, and just get him like that. Easy.
Put out the fire! Put it out!
The automated fire extinguishers aren't working.
What?
Cool, I'm glad I was still able to do that fast.
It's inconceivable!
That's what's so fun about upgrading the weapons in this game, though. Where it's like when you get it just right, you're able to just like cheese a boss like that. That's like that good Mega Man feel.
How much does he think it cost to build that in the first place? I'm gonna get him. If it's the last thing I ever do, I'm gonna get him.
Master Teasel, are you alright? Master Teasel?
He's just having a life crisis right now. I appreciate that he has a genuine reaction of like, Ben, wait, that cost a lot to build. That kid just blew that up. Fuck. Mega Man's just like, huh?
Just you wait. Oh, you're mine, Blue Boy. I'll get you.
Time to go home.
Well, I guess see you later. Yeah, that fight can be super annoying, but it's also it's a fun little fight. Ugh, I hate how low your jump is though early on. You at least have a decent grip so you can get up the walls, but ugh. Yeah, I think that boss's name is Marlwolf or Malwolf. I forget what he calls the tank's name. Marlwolf. I know he said it once or twice. Which way is out? Out is that way. There you go. Potato. Yeah, eventually we do come over and do this dig site, but you take the flutter. I think once it can fly again and go up there, I want to say. I think that's the correct thing we do. Wait. Did I mess up? Oh, stairs are right there. Yeah, I totally knew that. Ooh. I think after this, we're supposed to... I forget what we do after this. I know I'm supposed to go back right now.
Mega Man, can you
There
hear
she
me?
is.
The mayor says there's something real important she has to talk with you about.
Okay, this is where I was
Can
talking
you
about.
come
where
back here?
I think she tells you...
Roger. I'll head back to City Hall.
Okay, so you just automatically walk. That's cool. I think this is where she asks you to like help out with restoring the town.
If only we'd known there was someone like
I can't
him
read those
here in the
kanji.
first place.
That
We
says
won't
something
fail next time.
she
We'll
did,
emulate,
something
concentrate our firepower on him. We won't cut him any slack just because we outnumber him. That kid's going down.
Just wait till you see, Teasel. I've got a new robot I've been wanting to build that'll do the trick.
Look at
That'll
this
teach
like
'em.
This time,
Monday
we
morning
get rid
board
of
meeting.
Boy for sure, and get that treasure.
Ow! This coffee sure tastes good.
These goobers.
Mega Man, good going! You showed those pirates who's boss!
How can I thank you? You've done so much for us. I hope this will convince those pirates to give up. I'm afraid to think what might happen if they get their hands on the treasure. The legends say a horrible disaster will occur if it's ever unearthed. Even if that's just a myth, lately we've been detecting increased activity underground. The Reaver bots are apparently activating of their own accord. It has me concerned. Maybe there's some truth to those stories about a horrible disaster? I wonder. Megaman, would you be willing to explore the caves and dungeons on the island?
Already
and
doing
see if
it.
you can find anything?
Of course we're gonna say yes.
You will? Oh, thank you so much.
I don't even know if no gives
Here,
you like a loop
you'll need
answer.
this.
Like, I think she'll make you do it anyway.
Only the best diggers are able to get a Class A license. The best of the best.
Best
With
of
that
best.
license, you'll be able to get into the sealed-off sites. The ones those pirates have been trying to break into.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Protect
give
our
you
town
my
and
permission
rebuild
to dig in the island's subgates. Just let me know if you find anything that can tell us about the treasure or that disaster that's supposed to happen if the treasure's disturbed. And I hate to mention this, but if while you're digging you find anything of value, it would mean a lot to us if you could donate it to help with the restoration of the city.
it. Oh right, there's.
Thank you again.
I think
Be
there's a
careful.
museum side quest too. Oh yeah, no, the game is great. I think it's got too much good in it. That it's like even as like clunky as it is in many aspects. Garden Forest where we crash and others in a lake in the Upton area. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, that's one of the bigger ones because there's a bunch of different stuff you have to do there. That's one of the longer winding ones too, as I recall, including the like the wheelchair girl, as I mentioned. Ooh, Ori, that's a fun game. I've only ever tried the first one, but those games. Speaking of games that whose visuals definitely hold up and will hold up, yeah, those are great looking games too. That's cool. Oh yeah, no, the shining laser is definitely fun to mess with. Definitely way too much time to like fully upgrade it, but even just like doing it a quarter of the way or halfway, it's good stuff. Oh yeah, no, the first one's a ton of fun. Both of those games are really solid. Very, very, very good looking games. Let's see, so I'm going to go to the shop again because I need to get myself prepared. And then I think I'll go and explore the south part of the woods. This is where a lot more quests start to open up. And you get to see the town continuing to move as the guys say like, yeah, that goes a pirate. Oh, should I be this guy's sidekick? Oh yeah, no, I think the second one just came out though, so he's... Now these kids are my friends. Junk shop. Go here first. Let me see. Shield repair, there you go. Yeah, Kevlar, that's the next major jack you can get. I think it's, I have reduces by a quarter, and then I think that reduces by half, and then I don't think there's any more you can get after that. I think it's just that jacket. What other parts do I have? Let's stick without those for now. thought there was a point where you can buy like I think there is a point where you can buy like broken weapon parts from them, and then eventually get them to roll other stuff. Okay, yeah, let's go to data outside, and I want to heal up. How much money do I have? I don't need to kick the can right now. Okay, so I'm gonna go to data and we're gonna heal up. And then I think I'm gonna go to the southern ruins here that she gave me the card key for. And then I think we may call it a night at there, because I'm feeling a little sleepy, but I'm also feeling good, and I think we've been hanging out and chilling for a while. Hope everyone's been enjoying this before. I really do enjoy this game and still do, despite how much time has gone by since it came out. What are these kiddos doing? Hold on a second. Right. I think some of the tanks are still in that area, even though it's not as active. Maybe we're back around. Alright, Data, what you got for me? And save up. And yeah, even just thinking about it, I was sort of like tapping the sticks on my controller right now. Like I talked earlier about the camera movement and the very how like rudimentary and primitive some of the ideas are in this game for like 3D movement stuff. But even the fact that like how the original PS1 controllers didn't have analog sticks on them, like the fact that this game came out when that was still kind of the norm, it gets to the point where it's like this game doesn't even support like analog. I want to say, like, let me tap the on button for that. Yeah, like you have to use the D-pad for this, which is just, it shows just how early the game was in terms of like how developers were trying to think about and approach 3D movements in ways that would like make it more comfortable for a player. It seems like such a far cry now, and I could understand if someone were to like pick this game up and thought like, oh man, this looks cool and it has a cool like low poly aesthetic, but at the same time it's like, oh, that gameplay. Yeah, don't you hate it when you're digging for mushrooms and the tank rolls up? Like that's just, yeah, come on. Oh man, that lady's just booking it. Does everyone on this island just run like crazy? She didn't even run the right way. The town was back to that other direction. She ran towards the other gate. Okay, lady.
We've got to buy Miss Tron the time she needs to finish the robot. Okay, everybody, on your toes. Let's show Miss Tron what we can do.
Of course I want to continue on.
I've come to back you up, Megaman.
Oh, I remember this segment.
I may not be able to do much. If you get in trouble, get inside the car, okay? I'll get you back to safety.
Yeah, I think, so this segment you have to kind of like protect Roll, I think? I mean,
just a little bit more, Megaman. We're almost there.
The tanks are pretty easy to destroy, but I think it's a matter of like as long as you...
If you get in trouble, use the car as a shield.
No, don't use the car as a shield. Actually, one of the much easier escort missions that probably existed at that time in video games. Oh, right, because you... Let me see. Where's Roll? Oh, she's over there. Sounds like she's doing good. Yeah, because normally if I would have ventured all the way back here, I would have come across this, like, old gate here. Because Roll doesn't give a fuck. Watch this.
Huh? There's a fence? I'm gonna ram it, Megaman. Stand back.
I like how that's her first thought is like, you know what? Let's use this old digging cart that this nice couple gave us that I just barely managed to fix up. And we'll blow through that gate smooth as ever. Very nice. And we are now at one of the first subgates. This is where shit gets real. Or so they say. So now we're in a more
Can you hear me,
serious
Megaman?
dungeon.
I'm picking up high energy readings from close by. It looks like it's a refractor.
Mm-hmm.
And a big one, too. Is the refractor shielded? Most high-level refractors are protected in some kind of shield. You'll have to look for the control console and deactivate the shield.
So yeah, this dungeon works a little differently than the
Nothing.
original one.
It looks like the starter's missing. It's probably hidden somewhere nearby. You'll have to find it. Remember, there might be more than one starter key, too.
Yeah, so that's our refractor that we want back there, but there are, I think, 3 starter keys? Looks like 3 little holes there, so yeah. This is the second, I would say, like, major dungeon, or at least first one on the island itself. Wait a second. Wait, I don't have a high jump. How am I supposed to get out of here? Hold on a second, hold on a second, hold on a second. Oh, I'm just a huge potato. There was a door right next to me. How do games work? Yes, okay, this dungeon, I remember this because of these like raised panels here. That's where you start to just see like all these weird enemy designs. Like, look at this. Like, why are there robots that turn into dragonflies? Like, why is that? Why are these robots thinking like this? That's cool though. And then here, because you normally walk around on those raised levels up there, you can there are all these holes in the ground though, like this here. Again, like so easy to miss these if you're like not on the lookout for them. Even if it's just money in some of these, it's still something to find. It's like you really gotta have your digging research glasses on to get these right. Let me explore down here for a second. Oh, these guys are annoying as heck. There are bigger and more annoying versions of these enemies that appear later on in the game. They are a pain. I still notice how like I'm still stuck with the mines that I have, and yes, having them upgraded is very convenient. But mines are still so limited use in terms of like other items that you get early on, or like eventually in this game. I don't know. I just want to wander around really quick so I can try and find all the holes down here first. I can come back later, but I do remember where to get most things in this game, so if I can sweep through and grab just about everything that I don't need from side quests, that I can just pick up in dungeons. That'd be pretty nice. I just want to start building some different weapons so I can show those off. I'm sure there's like something else I could have gotten by this point that I just haven't yet, but that's okay. Here's one of the keys.
Did you find anything?
Doesn't even give you a notification beyond like roll just talking to you.
That must be the starter key. Keep looking. There's probably a few more lying around somewhere.
Probably. There you go. I was trying to grab as much money as I can in this game. Trying to remember. Oh, there's like a treasure chest I get in here, I think. That you. It's a switch. I'll put it down here. It like goes through. It goes down this conveyor belt, I think. And then that's when you break the chest, and then a key comes out. I want to say. Old doll. What does that give you? Oh no, that's one of the side quest items. See, an old doll is like one of the different things. It's like it's either for the museum or for the little girl. I can't remember. But that's why it's always good to get and check holes in the wall. It's solid advice for real life too. Grenade kit. Okay, I think that is a much better item.
Remember the first time you went on a dig, Mega Man? I wasn't used to being a spotter. You ended up getting lost underground for 3 days. Remember? We were lucky that Gramps came to help us. I don't know what I would have done if he hadn't been there.
So, I'm going to... See, those floors, these breaking floors, that's a very, like, Mega Man thing, like floors that don't last. Oh, actually, let me follow this for a second. Now you follow the cart all the way down, and you hit these little grinder keys down here. Hold on a second, hold on a second. Got 300 zenny.
There's something there. Did you find another starter?
See, so that's the second key. I think the third one is farther in the dungeon, if I remember correctly. I want to say there's a hole on like one of these down here or something. You can definitely fall down here. Let me peek see around here. Maybe not. Maybe that's just supposed to be like where you drop the chest and make sure it falls down. I don't know. Could have sworn there was one down there. Let me wrap back around and we'll go back up there. I just had to grab it since I was already in that general area. What's nice though is like even though those paths kind of trip you up as you wander across them, you can still get solid jumps across them. That's like one thing that feels nice because so many early like 3D platformer games or any games with like some kind of platforming, there was usually a very clear line of division in terms of like you either got it right or like wow you messed that up. So I feel like this game, jumping and your distances you have and like making sure you get to certain places, I think they usually feel pretty good. Spring set, I think,
Doesn't look like there are any big Reaver bots here.
gives me the double jump. Or the high jump, excuse me. Old bone. I feel like that is also a donatable item to the museum. Not there, somewhere else. Oh, this is this kind of puzzle thing. So you like... How does it work again? I forget.
It's another energy barrier. I'm getting the same kind of readings as before. Do you see a switch anywhere nearby?
Oh, right. Okay, never mind. I thought it was a puzzle switch in that, like, you had to
That's it! Now you should be able to access the console.
hurry up and hit, or you had to hit them in, like, the right order versus just, like, doing it really fast. I think that actually might be everything in this dungeon. Don't want to say I'm wrong, but those are the 3 keys. Let's see. Make it. Does it work? Does it work? Does it work? Yeah. Do nothing. I love that they still give you like an option. Oh, are we gonna Indiana Jones it again? That's so good. Like, they got facial expressions in this game way better than they had any right to be at like this period in time. Like, look at that.
Nothing's happening?
Womp womp. It's cute for in the game. And yeah, that's actually it. Like, you can miss 1 or 2 of the holes in the wall here, and I might have missed one somewhere, but I can always come back. I actually have the player's guide for this game. I know this game like the back of my hand now. I think I had gotten it when I was younger just for the sake of like having it, because I like the game so much. Wait, let me at least... I'm going to talk to Roll now. Oof, jeez. We're about to hit 3 hours. That's pretty solid for first night back streaming in quite a hot minute. So let me talk to Roll and make some new items really quick. Yeah, show the reactor. I forget what she ends up using it for. At least for now. Item development. Gotta be able to make something yet. Yes. Grenade kit, yeah. Right here, just grenade arm. These are a little trickier to use, but springs. Yeah, jump springs. So let me show you just how like dramatically crazy it is when you can like jump a lot higher. Now I can explore the ruins even more, I want to say. And you also got the helmet. And, oh yeah, the helmet reduces knockback. That's how that works. But it's like you also have this thing where, like, most of the key art for Mega Man originally in this game was like him not wearing the helmet, right? Whereas the cover for the second game has him in the helmet. It's a slightly different model than like that art. But I don't know. Let me see if that's everything. Let me enhance. Splash Mine, so Splash Mine is all maxed out, pretty much. Let me see how Grenade Arm feels in terms of upgrading. But this one is way more intensive on upgrades in that you can like do everything. I'll pump a little money into those. I think even though I've been complaining this whole time, I may stick with mines, just since it's technically maxed out. Like, they're nothing special. But I don't like the grenade bombs that much either. Like, you just toss them. I'm just not good at throwing them because I never practiced with them much. Let me talk to Data. Oh, okay. Part of me feels like I could keep going a little longer, but it is getting late, and I don't want to keep everyone up too late. I know it's Saturday night and everyone's chilling, but I think this was kind of a good comeback. Yeah, like I said, I like Mega Man Legends. It's good stuff. Let me get out of here. So we'll chill in here. You know what? Dancing Data is gonna dance the night away for us as we close up here. As we close up shop. Yeah, I think this was a good stopping point. But yeah, actually, wait. Hold on, one more thing. Hold on. we're gonna go back out. I was gonna show you guys the jumping. That's what it was, and then we'll pick up with that next time because I don't want to have that unequipped. So let's see. Special items. So this, I'll put the helmet on, and then like I think it was okay with the helmet, but it also looks kind of goofy. Like, cause I like him having his hair out. I'm gonna leave the helmet on, but it's like now he's fully Mega Man. But then you get like a nice big old jump going there. It feels pretty good. He can't even jump on top of the cart. Yep. Yeah, he got it. This guy got it now. Oh, okay. We go back in. Ooh, I'm starting to feel it. Yeah, let me go back in and save here. Let's see, energy charge. I'll just save. Okay, and as data dances before we close up, then that's Mega Man Legends so far. I really like this game. I think we're having a good time so far. I think we've made a good chunk of progress. Like I said before, this game is not that long. There are a lot of fun side quests and little other things to do, which we will most likely do on stream. But yeah, I think this is one I'll get back into finishing. It'll help me keep up with maybe streaming every little bit or so recently, and hopefully I can kind of get a schedule going again. I like this new mic. I've had a few people tell me it already sounds pretty good that have texted me and told me that, so that's a good thing. Again, very, very major shout outs. It was actually El Tubacabra who very graciously gifted me this mic for my birthday, so very major thanks to my boy. Very much appreciated. Yeah, Mega Man Legends, good stuff so far. Popping this game in is always a fun time for me. Like this, despite its jank, I would argue is one of the small handful of games from its time period that still kind of generally does hold up to now. Like if this game played like Legends 2, I think people would talk about it even more in terms of like it being like a fun game to go back to. Because if you don't know how to play it and like have to kind of learn the learning curve with like the rudimentary 3D controls, it can feel a little weird at first, but once you get in, it's fun, it's short, it's sweet, it's a good time. All right, I'm gonna head out. I'm getting kind of sleepy, but it's been a good time. Y'all enjoy your evening and have a good night. And I will post my next stream on Twitter maybe next weekend. I'm not sure. I know a friend of mine has a birthday thing going on, but with how things are right now, who knows if that'll even happen. So anyway, have a good night. Be safe, y'all. Be smart. Just be careful out there with how things are right now. Just, I don't know, see your family. Do good stuff, you know, treat people around you good, be respectful when you go out in public if you have to, you know, just be smart and be safe, be healthy, wash your damn hands. Yeah, that's it. Alright. Adios, good night, buenos noches, all that good shit. Have a good one, y'all. See you later. Bye.